Yes.
Yes.
Yo. Damn, man, this shit ain't working. That's all right, though. What up, though? Love was good.
What up? What up? I'm feeling vivacious tonight. Get
Indeed,
it
what does
pop.
that mean? What does that mean?
I'm feeling
Oh, my God.
full of energy. What's wrong? I feel vivacious, full of energy, rambunctious. I'm ready. Let's get it popping.
You gotta update your slang.
Vivacious is old slang.
Yeah, your slang caught in like I get vanilla ice vibes from you when you talk slang.
Oh, white dude. Whatever. Him. Whatever.
Miss Nay was good.
What's good?
You fighting against them comments about them earrings. You just keep going deeper and deeper.
What? Because they say locks. Because I have locks.
I'm about to call chaotic, man.
First of all, this is a all black female company to do my earrings.
But you know he hate hoops.
I don't care what he hate. I ain't fucking with him. So he can get rocks. I don't care.
Word. Big Lex was good.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, shit, where you been at?
Out and about.
Don't watch it. God damn it. I'll put you in the back. East was good.
No, I was actually in Florida last week. So
Word.
No.
How was it? It was all right?
Yeah, I feel like every time I go back, it's just there's very interesting people in Florida.
What part you be in?
Orlando.
Oh, that's boring enough.
Yeah, it's not very exciting.
Yeah, you straight. Like, you ain't doing shit out there. East.
What's up? What's up?
Why you leaning? I told you about that leaning on the hand shit.
I took a nap and I wasn't ready to get up, but I was going
What?
great shot. I took a nap and I wasn't ready to get up.
Run around a little bit.
I was going great shot with a nice bonnet, but I was like, nah, I ain't gonna do it to him.
You're a proponent of twerking. Go in the corner, twerk a little bit.
I'm not a proponent of grown women throwing an ass, okay?
Throw in the circle. Throw in the circle.
See what I mean? Love, like you were off. You can't get new age slang ain't for you. Jesus Christ, put in the bathroom. Tay, what up?
Hey, y'all. Hey, I'm here.
You got your headphones in?
I do. You can hear me?
Yeah, move your hair. Move your hair.
Listen. Don't be disrespectful.
Jeez Louise. Don't move
Hear
it.
me?
Just,
Is that better?
you got the right one in?
I got the left one in. You want me to switch it?
Yeah, put them both in.
You always complain about myself. I'm gonna get a mic for you, just for you, Han.
Yeah, listen, we can go half on it. Good gracious.
Wow.
Ro was good.
What's up?
Yo, man, I like how you switch looks every week.
Same look for the past 3 weeks.
You sure? You ain't sure, see?
It's been that way for the last 3 weeks.
All right. Dana, what up?
What up?
I like what you got in your shit. You got the Princess Layla joints?
If you like it, just say that shit. If I'm cute, all right. We gotta go through all of this.
Mute, nigga, mute. Sis, what's good?
What's up?
Fuck you, Burke first?
No. I was about to say something, but I was like, fuck it.
Damn, man. This might be risky. Women's P.O.V. We here. All right. I think it's going to be a dope show. I like the environment. I like the topic. Why men should date older women. So let's mine this out a little bit. As we know, we've heard it a million times. Men prefer, beauty, youth. I think youth/fertility, agreeableness. And so some of those, I guess 2 of those things kind of eliminate the older woman. So what is constituted as an older woman, you guys think? Like, what age is that? Let's clarify that first. What age is an older woman?
I think somebody 10 years older than you.
No, so like there has to be like a number though.
40 and
60.
up.
40 and up.
60.
Well, OBGYN say 35. Your X count start declining. So
Okay, so 35. What say you, Lex?
I was gonna say 40 and up.
40. Okay. Now that Isha brought up the fact that your egg count starts declining and is considered geriatric at 35, would you move it down or you think 40 is 40?
I think 40 is 40. 35 is young. I mean, I think 35 is young.
and so is 40. Let's not trip.
So is 40. So is 40. Yeah, but if I had to start somewhere, I would think 40 is considered older.
Okay. And we're saying older. We're not saying like old,
Mm-hmm.
But if a man starts to date an older woman, what age is that? Tay, what say you?
I was thinking, can y'all hear me okay? I
Yes,
was thinking
ma'am.
40, but I'm going to go with the 35 and up just because my OB told me the same thing. And they know what they know. So, yeah.
So what number again?
35.
35? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, your shit sound... Make sure that your headphones are hooked to your laptop. Because, sometimes you have to connect the Bluetooth. Shout out to Mike Brown with the entry fee of $20, man. We're going to make this like a thing, man. Because everybody be putting on, and I feel like it's worth the bread, that little bit of bread. Based on the people in the comments, y'all spend that on 2 number 2s. Shout out to Bub in the building. Lady O in the building. She said, "Hey, ladies, this is actually our first member, first cousin ever. To this might be risky, and the memberships are growing." Chuck said, "This panel smells like cocoa butter. What else should it smell like, Chuck?" Come on, man. So we got 35, 35, 35. Dana, what is an older woman? What's the number?
I don't like giving a number because I think it's relative, but for the sake of the conversation, I'm gonna say 43.
43. What? How you get that?
Because I don't think 40 is considered older anymore. I think it's got to be a little bit more than that, but not quite like 45. So 43 just seems like a good midway point.
But in society, aren't people doing things at a much younger age?
No, people doing things at older age. People are having kids older, getting married older. They're reaching their peak and their stride at an older age. So nah.
Okay, that's fair. Sis, what is an older woman? What age?
Seemingly, if a 19 or 20-year-old dated a 25-year-old woman, that's older too. So I'm thinking it's a gap. It's just a gap.
What?
Versus
Give me a number.
age. It's the gap in numbers.
Give me a number though.
You mean what's an old woman?
No, I'm not saying old. I'm saying older. If a man's considering a woman and he gonna date her, what is an older woman?
To what age-year-old man?
20, 30, 40, 50.
I think anywhere from 4 to 5 years older is considered older than
So
them.
don't make me put you in the back. I need a number.
No, dead ass. I don't. This doesn't make sense.
We're talking about dating. We're talking about dating. So, like, let me give you a couple examples. Al Pacino, how old is his girlfriend? 30. 30. But guess how old Al Pacino is? 80. So there is a number. So older
He wants
women.
the money.
Say what now?
Yeah.
He just had a baby. He just had a baby by her. How much money she want?
I'm saying if he's 80, he's on his way out.
And Love already told us the baby gonna look old because he old.
I love didn't say that. But but I'm dead serious. It has to make sense what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense for a 25-year-old to a 20-year-old is an older woman. So I'm using my common sense here.
No, she's not. No, she's not. If a man's saying he dating an older, he's not saying she's older than me. We're trying to say, what is an older woman? It doesn't mean old, sis. It doesn't mean old.
Well, that makes it. I don't know. How about that? I don't know.
I can't. Sis, give me a number for if you drop goddamn an alien out the sky. What is an older woman? Come on, man. Stand on something.
What is considered an older woman? I guess if you're 50.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Damn, I missed my goddamn board so bad. All right. Okay. So I think the consensus is around what? 35, 40?
No.
Lex said 40. E said 35. Tay said 35. Rose said, did you say 35, bro?
It's at 40.
My bad. 40. Nate, what'd you say?
40 and up.
Mm-hmm. Love, what'd you say?
55.
Yeah, but you being disingenuous. Dana, what'd you say?
No, I'm being very serious. No, wait. I'm sorry, Dana. I'm being very serious because, again, according to what Dana said, and I totally agree with 100%. Women are having babies at 50.
Dana said 43.
I know, but she also said people are doing things later in life. And so therefore the definition of old has shifted as time has gone on, because the things that you couldn't do at a certain age, you can do now.
I think you misunderstand me saying okay to Dana for me agreeing. No, that's not true. But because you have outliers doesn't mean that what Dana said is factual, because if so, they would have changed the number for geriatric pregnancy. So you can't take rich people that you know about, like the brat, and say people are having kids at an older age, because that is an outlier, and we can't qualify outliers or solve for them. So you can't. That's not.
I can, because I know everyday Joes and Schmoes, women I went to school with that had babies in their 40s. Hamp,
give me 5
outliers. You
give
don't
me 5.
Know any of their names.
Give me 5.
Nigga, you don't know their names. Like,
give me 5.
Like this? You want their names that had babies in their 40s?
Yeah,
I know a couple over 40.
Give me 5.
There's but you don't know.
Ain't no thank you. Give me 5.
Her name is Shauna, Teresa, Talisha.
You know that those are the names of FWV, right? No, see, you can't fool me, man. Put them in the bathroom.
That's crazy.
Those are the names of that DMX song.
Hey, Isha, tell her, man. It was Linda, Felicia. Get the fuck out of here, man.
I am telling you. Women are having children later. And so when that 35-year-old geriatric pregnancy range came into place, that was a long time ago. Medical advances have definitely shifted now. So there are women that you're gonna keep on saying no, you're gonna listen. I just put myself on mute.
Listen to that foolishness.
I put myself on mute. I'm gonna save my voice for when you want to listen. You know, my freaking nerves.
No, mute then. So the science hasn't changed. 35 still have trouble having babies. That hasn't changed. I mean, period. Come on, man.
No, that hasn't changed, but that doesn't mean that more people aren't having geriatric pregnancies, though.
Oh, I don't think more people are either. I think you just know more because of social media.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead. You want to get in this fire with love?
No, I'm just saying. I'm not disagreeing with you that that's geriatric.
Watch it.
Yeah, I don't want no smoke, okay? These are peaceful. This is a peaceful hairstyle, okay?
No, man, I just miss y'all. I love you. I know it's Tuesday. All right. Damn, man. Big Lex, they starting with me, bro.
No, I was gonna say maybe transfer whatever you got in your cup with water. Because you was going in on love for a minute. I was like, okay.
Hey Lex, mind your business. All right. So, all right. So we got, okay. So let's say the average was what? Let's say, I think 35, let's say 40 then. Okay. To be fair. Okay. So that's considered an older woman. All right. I just wanted to clarify that. Because to Dana's point and Love's point, there are things happening later in life but I don't know if like the science is changing for people. I think people are just maybe getting married later for a slew of reasons. Not I don't even know if they're good or bad, you know. But when your body starts to change and would you say does your body decline if your eggs start to become less viable and such? Is that a decline or it just is?
No, it just is.
Okay. All right. That's fair. Okay. So, all right, let me ask my next question. This is a good one. Tay, you answer this question for me. Because we want to say, it's saying why men should date older women, right, Tay?
Who should date older women?
Men should date older women. That's the comment we posed for this episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tay, is sex better with older women?
Yeah, set me up. Absolutely. I'd say yes.
Yeah.
Because you have to think. Yeah, you have to think about the maturity and the experience that an older woman is going to bring to a younger man. Is that right? You're talking about a young man, right?
Yeah, we're talking about
when a younger man.
Yeah, the man is like 30 to 40.
Yeah. So yeah, she's gonna be putting it on him. Period.
Why though?
Because she's got more experience. I would say, especially being older, she knows her body. I'm sure she's gonna be, more confident in her sensuality at that age. Wherever she is in life, it's just highly, in my experience and what I do, is more likely. Yes.
So what's your experience and what do you do?
Well, I'm a sexual health and wellness coach, and I teach people how to lean into their sensuality at all ages.
Now, question. They call us a janitor a sanitation specialist. So what does that really mean?
Well, I don't know. I've never been a janitor or a sanitation specialist. But in general, I would say it's something that you study, right? Or if you want to become a specialist in something, pick whatever field you like, how you can figure out how to help people. That's something that's a passion for you. Then you turn it into a job, turn it into making money. But I don't want to clean toilets, so what's the question? Why did I become a sexuality coach?
Well, no, it says health and wellness coach, but what's the layman term for it?
What do you mean? There's no layman term for it.
So
I'm an educator. I'm a sexual educator.
How do you learn it though? How do you get good at that?
Well, you don't learn by doing. Okay, I think that's a mistake. That's something, because a lot of times that's a lesson learned and it's too late for that. So you learn. There's actual education out there. You read a book. You go to class. You can go get certified if you want. Okay. Yeah, there are opportunities out there if you're looking for them.
Okay, word. Shout out to Hank in the basement with $2 super chat. Shout out to the OG chicks with good loving. Sis, is sex better with older women?
Is it better? It can't be. I caught that take. No, but I don't nah. From what I can imagine, the young chicks are still, they got better knees. They're probably doing some splits here and there. They're probably on top for longer than 5 minutes, Isha. Hell no. I completely disagree with that.
Damn, go ahead, Isha. You got called out. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say yes. I think only because when I turned 35, my sex drive skyrocketed. Hit a point where I'm like, where did this come from? And it's still up there. And I think I'm more vocal. I had the best sex after 35, I'm gonna say. Because I'm more vocal about what I want. And I'm more open to more things.
You received or gave the best sex?
I think I not given. And let me tell you this too. Let's put this out there. Any men that try to talk to me, they're younger than me. So them younger boys want some older women.
Oh, like for sex?
They want more than that.
I mean, because they're not marrying them though. So that's what I'm asking.
Oh, yes, they are. My ex-husband was younger than me, and these younger men are trying to put babies up in me. Yes, they are.
What you think a kid mean? They? What do you mean?
I'm just saying, like they see long term, like.
And what? Where? What statistic?
You don't think having a child with somebody is long term?
Are you
They
kidding
gotta
me?
deal with me long term.
Are you kidding me?
I know there's men that leave, but like they don't. I'm gonna go back.
Stop. You're the expert.
Something more permanent, I think.
But East, you're the expert in all that. You know these kids don't have daddies.
Well, I'm not dating no deadbeat ass man, so.
Okay, I mean, you know, but you know what you know is my point.
Yeah, there are men that just, and some men just want to have babies because they want to control the situation. But a lot of them talk marriage too, and a lot of it's me like, I'm better than this.
But Ish, see, the reason why I can't take that from you is because you know, niggas just be talking. Come on, man. I
don't know.
I had to stop a nigga from jumping out the window over East in college. Come
You're
on,
such
man.
a liar. Hemp is a liar. Y'all don't listen to this crap Hemp be saying. Please.
I'm telling you, man. Get down, bro. Don't do it. I'm telling you. Bro, what you trying to say?
I think they look for stability, particularly certain type of young men that are a little mature for their ages. I think that they look for more stability, and they like older women because they've probably been dealing with them their whole life. I think a lot of younger men that I've come across, they they like older women because that's all they've been dealing with. Starting at a young age, starting at like 13, that they've been dealing with older women. So a lot of them like older women because that's all they've been dealing with. They don't like to deal with women their own ages. They like the stability and the whether they're in it just for sex or whether they're in it for more than whatever it is, it's a consistent thing. And that's the reason I think that they date older women.
But it.
Let me say this, Sam. I agree with you. I think that majority of them want a younger woman, but I think there's another group of them. I think it's 50-50. I think there's another group of them that are used to dealing with older women, and that's what they like. They like the stability. They like the security. They like to make sure, or if they're career driven, they know that the older woman ain't gonna want nothing but the fuck and then move along. She's not gonna want any type of relationship because if she's a professional, he's a professional, I ain't gotta deal with nothing. If she already got her kids and he's on his trail of his career, that's all he's focused on and that's all they want. That's what it is.
But yeah, you just furthering the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, like on Juice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He didn't have no intentions for her.
But he could trust her and he could rely on her.
Yeah, he gonna use her.
I don't know if it was using, but I think at the end of the day, he knew he could rely on her.
What is usury?
Usury can be a few things. You could use somebody with the intent to hurt, but you can also use somebody because of what it is that you're desiring and what you need.
So he needed to sleep. Remember, he needed food, and then he was more than happy to get out when the husband came.
And she was more than happy to give it to him.
Yeah, but you're not. You just still furthering the point that he didn't value her. He used her for whatever he needed her for.
I don't think so. I think they valued each other. I think they valued each other for what it was that they needed.
Have you seen Juice?
I did. And again, to Isha's point, it was a relying based situation. She was stable for him. If he needed to eat, if he needs somewhere to sleep in peacefully, he could go there.
When the husband came in there aggressive, what did Q go to do?
You said what?
What did Q leave to go do when the husband was in a rut and when it came in there all aggressive?
What did he tell him to do? I forgot.
Rob a store and DJ. Nigga, that wasn't his priority.
I'm not saying that was his priority, but he knew he could go somewhere and get a roof over his head and food in his mouth.
Hey, the Dallas Cowboys just hired Stephon Gilmore. They need another corner because your back pedal is amazing. I just want to point that out. Nay, is sex better with an older woman?
I'm gonna say yes. To Isha's point, I think the sex drive is like impeccable when you get older, to be honest. And also, older women, the odds of you wanting to sleep around, in my opinion, would be slimmer. You're probably gonna just be sleeping with that person. So they're like, oh, I know I can count on her because it's more stability being with that older woman. When a younger girl, it's like, oh, she probably like a fly by night. But an older woman is like, oh, I can, this is my loyal one, my bottom, almost. But yeah, I think sex is better with an older woman. That sex job crazy.
Y'all haven't really told me why. Y'all just saying because all of a sudden y'all libido goes up.
Oh yeah, I definitely think so. You want to have sex way more when you older.
So it's just better because it's more frequent.
Yeah, I think, and then I think you always want to have sex. I mean, I could be wrong because Tate's a specialist, but I'm gonna think like them vaginal stuff is like, listen, it's different. I don't know. Tate could probably tell you about that, but I think it's different. It's better. What is better?
I think it's more sensual because our inhibitions are gone as we get older. Mm-hmm. Younger girls are more concerned with how do I look? Like they trying to pose when they having sex and making sure it looks a certain way or whatever. Older women, we know what we want. I was married when I was older. So when I was married, I knew what I wanted when I had sex. And I knew, the inhibition was gone. Like, I want to make sure ain't nothing jiggling, nothing. Listen, we going to get it. And we going to have hot, nasty sex. Hot, nasty sex, dirty sex, all the sex, backwards sex, upside down sex. We're going to have all the sex. And there's no inhibition, like we're being judged. Like, we're about being judged. Like, we're here for this purpose. Let's get all of the sex done. Inhibitions are gone. That's why it's better. And
says the woman who falls asleep giving head. Nobody want to hear that shit.
Nigga, you're lying. And stop making me call you that. Stop making me say the N-word. First of all. Second of all, I never said I fell asleep giving head. I said married.
What did she say, sis? What did she say, sis?
Quote me.
What did she say, sis?
Can't quote her, but I could. She made it seem like she might fall asleep giving head. She said it like 10 times during that clip. No. Just run back the clip. You were saying it so convincingly. It was strange.
What I said was women that are married trying to do it to their husbands and having to take care of the kids and all this and that may fall asleep giving head because they're so tired is what I said. And here comes the love-hate train. It's all right. I love y'all too.
That's Chief.
Sis, you ain't loyal. You on the wrong team. You on the wrong team, sis.
I know what Chief said. He always saying that. But I never said that I fall asleep giving head. Matter of fact, I gave the clarifying point and said my head game is like that. I don't fall asleep. It's not trash. It's sought after. What?
All right, let me get out this question. I'm sick of y'all shit, man. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most, man. Golly, y'all get on my nerves. All right.
But you love it.
Yeah. Dana.
It was like that. What?
Yeah.
Hush, bro. Hush. All right. What can an older woman do for a man that a youngin just cannot?
What can an older woman? Provide better sex. That's first and foremost. But number two, more than anything, I think that older women are more direct. They're less inhibited about what their needs are and what they bring to the table, what their desires are. You're not going to meet their representative as much as you would a younger person. After a certain age, we're not concerned with how you respond to who we are and what we bring to the table or what we're about. So this is what you get. If you like it, you do. If you don't, then we can move on. And it's much more straightforward and probably, dare I say, a little bit more transactional, which I think men kind of appreciate a little bit.
Okay. So you think, well, one thing I want to just kind of mine out, you're saying that older women are more honest?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, read that super chat for me.
LaShawn, thanks for the super chat. $1.99. Falling asleep giving. Wow.
Yeah, she's the worst. All right. Big Lex. Now you in a conundrum, Big Lex.
Why?
I don't think you qualify as older yet.
I'm in my late 20s. No, I don't think I do either.
So do you think there's something an older woman can do for a man that a younger woman can't?
Yeah, most certainly.
Like what?
I think an older woman can provide more security than a younger person. I think they're more secure in their jobs. I think they're more secure in themselves. Also, I think as you age, you're more assertive about your needs, kind of what Dana was saying. And I think that is also dependent on like the man and what they're looking for. But for the most part, like as you age, you gain more confidence, you gain more, just recognition in yourself, and you don't need anybody else's approval but your own. And I think when you're younger, like you're searching, this is every stage of everybody's life,
Yeah.
I think at most points you are searching, but at a younger age, there's a lot more that you're like trying to figure out, that as you age, you don't really have those same struggles.
So I do have another question, Lex, and I was kind of saving it because you kind of ran into it a little bit. But what if I told you the 5 things out of this 6 things you mentioned, 5 men don't care about?
Security is probably one
Security,
of them.
the job, her being assertive. That's probably the worst thing you could have said. Jeez Louise.
Well, I still stand by what I said.
I'm just saying, right? I understand what you're saying. Those are viable things if he was dating another man. But if he's dating a woman, I don't know if he'd be like, yeah, I want her to be assertive and sure and have great job and all this other shit. I don't know if he's looking for that. You know what I mean?
I call cap on that. Because you guys
hold on. That's what I was saying. I have a question that's catered to that. But Big Lex kind of led into it because she was trying to say that older women are better than her. So I just wanted to. Sorry, that's me implying. Hey, Big Lex, read the super chat for me.
Shout out to Hamp and all panelists. Woo-hoo. Love the show.
No doubt. Bees, we appreciate it with the $20 super chat. That's a big bag, man. We appreciate it. Word. Thank you. Hey, you love the show. Hey, that's big, man. I think this show got a certain knack for sure. All right, so Big Lex said that yes. Tay, older woman can do something for a man that a young woman just can't.
Yes.
Why?
I think that. Hey, what?
No, go ahead.
I mean, I'm with Lex. I kind of, but that's why I laughed, because I knew you were the whole assertive thing. But just a woman being sure in herself and being older, I think, she comes to the table a little more confidently. She's settled in life. Like, she doesn't really needs you, she wants you. I think that's important. But yeah, I feel like an older woman has a lot to offer, or more to offer than a younger woman, because other than more eggs, which, you know, if that's the case, then I'd have to side on the younger side, depending on what the man's looking for. But
read the super chat for me.
Shout out to Mike Brown with the $5 super chat. Younger can be coached versus older can be coached, which is typically the issue. Wait, what?
Who has been coached? Has been coached.
Oh, has been coached. Okay, has been. My bad. All right. Okay. Appreciate you.
Yeah, what you think about that? Credence?
I think that's a valid point. No, I think that's a valid point. I didn't think about that at first, but we appreciate the input, the feedback. I think you got a point there.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else want to answer this question?
I think what he's really saying is older women are probably less likely to be easily manipulated with certain things. Also, too, I think we just provide snacks and a place where they could come have sex.
That's mom's too, sis.
Sis giving y'all some game, man. Y'all ain't listening. Sis, read the super chat for me. You can't
Asia, please read that. Asia, please read that.
Thank you, Gary Grant, for the 22 Canadian dollar super chat. Older women are great for younger, inexperienced, that's what he wanted to say, men. But as men get older, younger is always better. Big up, Hamp and the ladies. Thank you, Mr. Grant.
Well, we appreciate you, Mr. Grant. I think this is a hell of a sentiment. Mr. Gary Grant, once again, older women are great for younger, inexperienced men, but as men get older, younger is always better. Big up the Hamp and the ladies. Love, what you say about this?
I'll incorporate this answer to that, but I want to say it earlier. I agree. Like, they want men that want a coachable woman. It comes across as you want to be able to tell her what to do, manipulate her mind, and she's basically going to say whatever you like, right? Because she's more dependent upon you, and that's a scary thing. I think that's a red flag, and I hope the younger women are taking note of that. If men like you because all the men were giving him big ups because you can be coached, you can be trained like a puppy, and that's how it comes across. And for any man that doesn't want a woman who has her own mind, experienced life, and can add to the conversation, and doesn't want that, is a scary thing, and that says something a lot about your character and your security as a man, in my opinion, respectfully.
Okay, so you're saying that we don't want a woman who has been taught, coached, and taught by another man. That you are saying, well, because that's so remember what Mike Brown said. She's been coached, she's learned, she's experienced other men, she's been with other men, right? She has soul ties to other men. So why did you go to that's scary that he wants to mold his woman?
Okay, so let me address that. There's a lot of assumptions that you made in that statement, and are implied, I guess, in Mike's as well. Just because she doesn't have to be coached by another man, she could be experienced in life. She could live life without being coached by another man, because I guess the concern is you're bringing another man's teachings into that home or into that relationship. That is not the case all of the time. I think it's very rare, honestly, because a woman's experience is not always surrounding a man and a man teaching her anything. Life, experiences with other women. Okay, experience with others. Social gatherings.
Come correct next time.
Huh?
What?
Bagel thighs.
Wait a minute. Love is risky bobblehead doll. She nods her head up and down. Okay, let me read this. Okay, let's read it. Gunny, $10 super chat. I support the Love is Risky bobblehead doll. She nods her head up and down religiously after every nonsensical argument. Gunny, I don't even know why you did that. you are such a female nigga. Like, I don't understand. I was minding my own business, giving my answer. The fact that I'm moving my head up and down bothers you. It just works your nerves. Like, are you on your period? Are you on your cycle this month? Because you've been hollering for the past 2 weeks. Like, what is wrong with you? You're so hurt. You're a female. Like, I'm trying not to call you the other word, but you got real feminine tendencies when you sit there and come at other women. No, Ham, let me do this, Ham. Let me do it because he started it. And I'm gonna just address it. Not a bobblehead. I'm agreeing. If you got a problem with that, because it would makes your butt itch, bagel thighs, your thighs itching, bagel thighs. Is that what the problem is?
Wow.
With your 205 pound. Thank you for the sound effects, Ish. Thanks.
Yeah.
Like, don't come up here starting nothing. But I know he's gonna try to come up on here on a piano around 10 o'clock and start hollering like he always does. He doesn't have an inside voice. He's gonna get really high pitched in his voice and all and vocal octaves. I mean, come on. That's fine, sir.
Okay.
You want your moment? Make your moment like you always try to do. Notice I said tried because you don't. It's an epic fail every single time.
Agent, don't leave because you know I'm gonna open a panel, so just to save some.
And I said it. And okay, right, I'm gonna save some. I'm gonna save some.
Yeah. So one pill with the $5 super chat is wearing fake hair, makeup, and false eyelashes manipulation as well. Because if somebody, so a woman, do you want an accomplished man? Do you want a man that has money? Do you want a man that's mature? Right. So a lot of the things women want are kind of a little bit opposite. But what would that make you a gold digger or something? If you just have preferences based on what's going to fit you, based on the game plan that you have. Like, I just think we got to be careful of kind of talking about it's a red flag this and a red flag that, as opposed to just understanding why men prefer those things.
I think it's okay to have a preference of wanting someone that you can grow with, right? The word coaching is a trigger, particularly when we're dealing with over history where men have taken advantage of younger women. Even in arranged marriages, the father decides based off of the man's ability to provide, not his ability to mold his daughter. I think I sent you the clip here. The man said basically everybody has to come together knowing their role. And my thing is if a man says, I want to coach, I want somebody young because I want to coach them, that's not saying he got confidence in his wife and her ability to come in as a wife. And she needs to come in as a wife, not as somebody that he needs to coach. Coaching is a trigger word that sends a signal of, I want to control you, instead of saying, I want you to come in as a wife, because she has to be prepared to be a wife, just like he has to be prepared to be a husband.
So
that's why coaching is a trigger word. Because a father, even like I said, in arranged marriages, a father does not give his daughter to a man to coach her. He gives his daughter because he feels that she's ready to be a wife to this man so that he can be a husband to her, not coach her.
Oh yeah, so you don't think women need coaching to be a wife?
I didn't say that. What I said was, if she wants to be a wife.
I'm asking you a question.
No, I don't think my husband should teach me how to be a wife. I need to come in as a wife, and I'm very transparent. And as I said, because I was raised by a man, my way of learning how to be a wife didn't come from my husband. It came from me being divorced, because my husband couldn't teach me how to be a wife. I had to
because of what though?
And I didn't.
Because of what though?
What do you mean?
Because you didn't allow him to coach you though.
He couldn't coach me because he could not coach me because he's not a wife.
No, he can coach you. He can coach you by what he wants, but if you're not willing to accept it, then it doesn't matter. No,
that's not coaching. When you have a coach on a football field, the coach already knows who's the quarterback. He already knows who's the running back. He knows these things.
What are you talking about?
Well, I'm telling you, if you're using the term coach,
people are mispositioned all the time. You know that, right?
They are, and you know what? What does the coach do when the person's mispositioned?
Put them in a different position.
Exactly. So
Okay,
at the end of the day, when I come in as a wife, I need to be a wife, and if I'm not a wife, I don't need to be there.
But you said exactly the what though. So let me tell you something. So you got Richard. Did you freeze? Did she freeze?
No.
Okay. Yeah. So like Richard Sherman, he played wide receiver at Stanford. Now he came to the NFL, went for the Seahawks. He's a Hall of Fame cornerback because he wasn't in the right position. His coach put him in the right position to be successful.
Camp, he had already acknowledged that the man was not prepared. He was not prepared. He played a certain position in college, and when he got to the NFL, his coach said, "You're better at being this."
Yeah, a totally different position.
But what I'm trying to explain to you is, as a husband, that's not your job to teach me to be a wife.
Oh, you're wrong. Okay, I see what you're saying now.
I'm not wrong.
I understand.
Your wife, you should be picking your spouse based off of her knowledge and ability to fulfill a role as a wife, and a wife should be getting her husband to know that he's able to be a husband. That is how we should be making decisions, not decisions on how we can change somebody.
I think, well, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a separate conversation, but you went in your relationship the wrong way, and then we see the results of it.
I agree with that. And as I said,
because you couldn't take coaching though. If you take coaching from your husband and do what he asked you to do, you might have been more successful.
No, I wouldn't, because he wouldn't know. He didn't know how to be a husband. We weren't qualified. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. We weren't qualified to be a husband and a wife. And
there's not that much accountability with your answer.
It's not, as I said, my accountability is I acknowledge that I was not a good wife because I wasn't trained to be a wife. I was not prepared to be a wife. I said that. I don't have a problem admitting that, but I need for men to understand when you are selecting your wife needs to be prepared to be a wife. And women need to pick their husbands because he's prepared to fill that role as the husband. I don't need to coach him to be a husband, and he don't need to coach me to be a wife.
Nobody said you added. Nobody ever said. Nobody ever said no. I never said you're supposed to coach a man to do anything.
And he's not supposed to teach me either. He's supposed to be my husband. He's supposed to be my provider, my protector.
You'll be outside. Read this super chat for me.
This is from Real Bravado Network. $100.
God damn. Hey, bro, we appreciate you. Hey, Real Bravado. If y'all don't follow him, goddamn, one of y'all give him some cheeks, do something, man. Maybe not. Sorry. That's slipped. Ro been bothering me for the last 5 minutes. So you know what I mean? Go ahead, Ro, finish it.
From experience, men should never date a woman older than him. 1 to 3 years, cool. Outside of that, dumpster fire city. So where's my boo thing, Q, aka Miss? I can raise a boy into a man, the same as a man.
Yo, Real Bravado, she'll be up here tomorrow, bro. Oh man, god damn. Bees with the $20 super chat. Appreciate you. No love. What you were doing was shaming. Yeah. So she was saying when Love was saying it's a red flag if a man wants a younger woman for X, Y, and Z. She's saying that's giving certain particular vibes. She's just shaming men for their preferences, is what Bees was saying.
Cam, can I ask you a question? When the Bible says he that finds a wife finds a good thing, does that imply that the woman comes into the marriage as a wife?
No.
Oh, that's not what that means, because that's how it, okay, because that's what it says. I just want to see what you thought on your interpretation.
No, yeah, because if you go to Genesis 3:16, it says your duty is to your husband, he will rule over you, right? So if you know that, right, and then you read Paul's writing in Ephesians 5, start at verse 21, then you'll understand that Paul also knows Genesis and understands that your wife is your leader. He's your Lord, as Abraham was called by Rebecca.
That's fine, but that doesn't address what I just said. He that
it does. Thoroughly too.
No, you didn't address what I said. He that finds a wife means she's coming to the marriage as a wife. So she doesn't need to be coached by him to be a wife.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so ridiculous that the whole Bible doesn't matter.
Doesn't the woman need to have the understanding that she needs to come into the relationship accepting that this man is supposed to rule over her? And where is she supposed to learn that from? Not from that man. She should already have that understanding.
From the Most High. Yeah. Yep. So because
if she already has that understanding, why does the man need to coach her into understanding that?
Because he still has to mold her into his wife. Right?
She gonna learn that through the scriptures. God gonna show her how to
what are you talking about?
Because you just mentioned the scriptures.
Where?
You just mentioned scriptures.
Let's play the game. Let's play the game. Let's go ahead. Let's you jump into this hole, and I'm gonna burn your ass up. So come on.
No, mentioning the scriptures, then clearly
nope. Y'all niggas want it.
I'm with love.
I'm trying to stop you, but they want to start talking scripture.
You don't need to coach her.
It's not gonna go how you think it's gonna go.
Here you go.
So go ahead, what scripture you supposed to follow?
I don't know. You the one quoting the scriptures. You my
I said Genesis 3:16 already, nigga. I already told you a scripture.
But it's still the answer.
Nay, leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Okay.
Leave it alone. Because it's not gonna go how you think it's gonna go.
You got it.
I know. Damn, y'all niggas don't read no Bible. Now you want to talk Bible to me. Fuck out.
But yeah, honestly, she needs to come into the marriage with the understanding that my husband is supposed to be a leader. And no matter what her age is, an older woman has that wisdom to understand that as well. And we was just talking about city girls. Now, these younger women out here want to be city girls nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
So don't discount the older women as not being able to be taught, molded, or whatever have you.
I'm missing the comments. Hold on. Yeah, Ish, I think you're right. I think if she has that background, then she should understand that you need to come in to understand that you are under your husband. But I think what the sentiment is based on people's experiences that it's more difficult to get an older woman to understand that fact.
I don't think that's true because a woman who's been through a divorce, like Ro was saying, myself included, when I got a divorce, I went into what makes a good wife. Like that was my first thing to learn. Like, what did I do wrong? What should I have done? What is a wife?
Yeah, Ish, I think you're right. I think you had a, and I'm going to use a strong word, but you understand what I'm saying, is you had a traumatic experience what caused you to really look in that mirror. But if they don't have that and they just get older without having that experience, what happens then?
But I think that's what we were saying, him. You have to have that experience to be considered, an older, wiser woman to be
ready. To get divorced?
No, bro. I, like I said, I can only talk about myself. My divorce was an opening because up until that point, I didn't fail at anything. So yes, I felt I failed at a marriage. And so at that point, yes, that traumatic event will make you think about a lot of things. It'll make you learn about yourself better than anything. And I think it will prepare you to be with someone that is on your same level, whether he's young or older. But at the same time, as Isha said, and as I was stating, you have to be prepared and know what a wife is to be a wife. Now, however your husband, whatever he wants, if he wants to get you to
hold on, Ro, don't repeat it though. Don't repeat
all I'm saying is that's what it is. And I think that is what makes an older woman better than a younger woman. At the end of the day, she has her experiences.
Yes. All right, girl. Damn, we done said the same thing 10 times. Jesus Christ. Kellen Powell with the $5 cash app. He said, Hamp, you're gonna need therapy after dealing with them. Hey, KP, nah, man, this my fam. That's why we can really have a conversation because we just keep it rocking. You know what I mean? But hey, let me tell you something though. I have been doing some reading on some shit because I get a headache after every Tuesday. Mike Brown with the $5 super chat. Or not like KP, like sis going off the camera every 4 minutes. I just can't. Mike Brown with a $5 super chat. Or another man's failures too. Your experience carries on. John the Baptist with a $10 super chat. Mrs. Love, if you think older men wanting a younger woman is a red flag, then you don't understand a man's nature and a woman's purpose. This has been since the beginning of time.
Yes. So has molestation. and so has sexual abuse.
And so her sex drive hit its peak, and his dick doesn't get hard. Now he's getting cheated on.
Damn. So let me get this straight. So if we don't like it, we attack. Okay. John the Baptist with a $10 super chat once again. Your parents raised you to teach you. Your parents raised you to teach you to work with a man, but your husband teaches you how to work directly with him. I think that's a solid chat. Mr. Gary Grant with the $11 Canadian dollars. I coach my lady. We are 10 years apart. We have been together for 25 years this year. Hey, shout out to that. Word is bomb. Arranged marriage have a 4% divorce rate. They seem to work a lot better than us here in the free world. John the Baptist with a $5 super chat. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so that the wives be to their own husbands in everything. Ephesians 5:24, which, because when Paul is talking, that nigga just be talking. He don't always tell you where he getting his references from. That's why you got to read the whole Bible. And we know that she's subject to her husband. And then we know that one of the commandments in Genesis 3:16 is where he gets his information from.
No one is disputing the fact that a man is supposed to.
No, we didn't say you did. We didn't say you did. We didn't say you did. You acknowledged that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. We never said. I just want to make sure very clear. None of us.
Well, I don't know what you said. I know what Isha said.
No, I'm telling you, I never disputed that. I asked
I don't trust you. I don't trust you.
Of course you don't. But I asked a clear question because you said to Ro that a man has to teach a wife how to be a wife, and that's what I was addressing. But go ahead, John.
Yeah,
this? You already read already. Never mind.
Yeah, no, I didn't know if you wanted to respond to this. That's all.
Real quick, and I'll be very brief in this response.
No, you won't.
You're attacked. This is Tuesday here. Why are you attacking me so much? It's on a Tuesday.
I'm having fun, but I just know you won't. You see everybody laughing. They know you're gonna be long as shit. Go ahead.
You interrupted me. So when John the Baptist, when I said it's a red flag, it's because I was referencing the super chat about the men wanting younger women solely because they can be coached. That's why I said it's a red flag, because it goes into the manipulation and the other conversation that we already went through extensively. So that's what I was referencing. And like Rose said, and I think somebody else said it there too, there is abuse also from the beginning of time too. Like, I mean, so yeah, we already kind of addressed this already. I don't want to again, but yeah.
No, I just wanted to give you because he names you. So I want to make sure you had a chance to respond. Damn, hey, Ro, I appreciate the spirit of debate. I think I won with flying colors, but we'll let the people decide.
I doubt it.
Hey, man, shout out to the panel. Like, share, subscribe, clap. Y'all niggas. Like, share, subscribe. Look at sis. Don't worry. Don't you worry. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. All right, I'm about to drop the link in the chat for the people because they've been going hard in these comments, boy. So we got to see what's up. All right, let me ask this one question, then I'm gonna drop the link. Damn, I got another dope question too, though. Is experience the best teacher to a man when it comes to a woman? Why should or shouldn't it be? Is experience the best teacher to a man when it comes to a woman? So when a man is looking for a woman, is he looking for an experienced woman? And if I think the answer would be no, assumed, right? But should it be no, or should it be a different answer than no? Because if you're like, there's men like myself, whatever country my wife already been to, I ain't going. Even down to a restaurant.
May I ask why?
Cause
that's not a direct answer, Hamp.
Oh, Nate, please stop. For you,
no, because you be getting at us. Yeah, you gotta have a direct answer. Why?
Every time.
Same reason Ro don't want to date anybody that votes.
Y'all crazy as hell. Nate, please don't try to hold nobody accountable answering a question.
If you making us be accountable, you gotta be accountable too. You the host.
Nate, what color is the sky?
Right now is black.
You see what I mean? She can't answer a question, bro. You see what I'm saying?
That's right now.
All right, sis, God damn it. Is experience the best teacher to a man for a woman?
I think it's the best teacher when a man needs it, and there are some men that need it.
No. To a man, sis. Like, if he found a woman, does he think experience is the best teacher for her?
I don't think I get it. Reframe that question. I don't get it.
Anybody else want to try to answer?
You talking about sex, right? Like, I think is that the connotation? Like, you don't want an experienced woman. But no, I would say no. A man doesn't want an experienced woman, because they want to be able to teach you some things, or show you some things, and probably be the best you ever had or whatnot. But yeah, I think they want a clean slate.
I was answering it right. I think I was answering it right. Okay, can I finish?
Yeah, go ahead, sis.
I think experience can be beneficial to certain men, especially men that have mommy issues. There's a lot of men out here who still need and want to be nurtured. That's just what I think.
Okay. Man, I hope the men hit the link. Big Lex. You thought you didn't think I was gonna call you?
I was like, please. Only because I don't really understand the question.
Yeah, so like, people say experience is the best teacher, but does a man agree with that sentiment when it comes to the woman that he wants to be with?
I feel like after the conversation about molding and coaching, probably not. I got a lot from that previous question. So, I mean, hearing from people, it seems like it's not.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Yeah, I think it is the best teacher, but I don't think it's always welcomed. I think it depends on the person that you're dealing with, the type of person that you're dealing with, and what his ideals are. So if you're dealing with a man who prefers, or not even prefer, but even subscribes to the idea that it's better to date a younger woman because they're more coachable and moldable and things of that nature, then they're not going to be receptive to the experience that an older woman has and brings to the table. But if you're dating someone who is not of that mind, or is at least open to a different type of perspective, or I don't know, different take on relationships, then they would be more receptive to it, and they would actually benefit from the experience that women bring, because it is valuable.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's sound. Anybody else? I think that was a great answer, actually. Dana.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Y'all shy? I ain't jumping on nobody else. Just bro.
I'm just trying to figure out how he gonna teach me to be a wife. He ain't been experienced.
And me, I know, right?
You didn't even hear what she said. You just talking. Here you go with the bobblehead shit.
Bobblehead all night long. What?
Until you fall asleep, right?
You don't stop defaming my name. I'm gonna sue you. I'm gonna sue you for slander because I never said that. Run the tape back. I never said that.
All right. John the Baptist, what's good, my brother?
How y'all doing today?
Good. Everything's good. So, John, you got a question, comment, or smoke?
I want to start off with a question. I want to make sure I'm clear on what the young ladies are saying.
Go ahead.
I just left the gym, so if I sound windy, I got to bear with me for a second. So, question is, do y'all think that a man can't teach his wife, or that he shouldn't teach his wife?
I think he can teach his wife things. I don't think he can teach her how to be a wife.
So what limitation do you put a teaching on to a man?
I'm sorry, repeat that.
What limitations do you put on his teaching?
I don't put limitations on his teaching, except for he can't teach her how to be a wife. He can teach her. He can teach her what he likes, but he can't teach her how to be a wife.
Okay, so I would agree with that if you're saying it's up to the mom and the dad to teach a daughter how to work with her husband.
Exactly. That's what I said. A father in an arranged marriage does not allow his daughter to get married to anybody until he feels she is ready to be a wife.
But now, where we have to make sure, I want to make sure it's clear that when she moves into his house, she's still being taught how to be a wife to him. Because the only thing a mom and dad can do is teach you, show you. Actually, it's not even teaching. It's to give her an example through her mom how she submits to her husband.
Right.
And so it's not so much the parents are talking about anything, is they're watching. She's watching how her mom moves. And then so now, because she sees how her mom moves, she's submissive to her husband and his request and whatever he sets for the house to go, how he wants his kids to be raised. So now she sees, okay, my mom moved around my father this way. So now when she moves into her husband's house, she recognized, okay, now he comes with a different set of rules and expectations. So what she did in her father's house may not work in his house.
I agree.
But what she needs to learn is from her mother is her demeanor, her attitude, how she responds to his instructions and directions. Right. So now when she goes into his house, she's learning. What she learned from her mom, she's now copying that behavior with her husband.
Right. That's what I said. I said he can teach her what he likes. But she's already, again, the father is not going to let his daughter go unless he knows that she has observed the mother's behaviors on how to be a wife.
Okay. We can rock with that one. Next question then would be, and I want to make sure I got this correct. I think this is Miss Love. Can you explain again what you mean by red flags?
The red flag concerning coaching of wanting a coachable woman? That one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, I mean, I can say what I said, and you can tell me if you need further clarification. So, when the super chat was something like, men want a younger woman because they can be coached versus an older woman has already been coached. So, being able to be coached versus how already has been coached. And I said that's a red flag because it gives the implication that you want someone that you can train and that has no experience, and it's like reminiscent of a puppy. Like I just can't think of any other way around it. Like it's reminiscent of a puppy. Like you want to train your puppy. And women, I think that's according to what Ro was saying, you can train what you like. Like you can tell me what you like. If you like dinner at 5 p.m. versus 7 p.m. If you like your eggs cooked hard versus it over easy. If you that kind of thing. But as far as coaching her, it just gives very domineering, and I'm kind of bordering abuse. That's the implication that kind of comes along with the word coach versus already been coached. And I gave also the example of the assumption that she's being coached by another man, and that's what her experience is shaped around another man, and there's an assumption, a wrong assumption in that. So what's wrong with being domineering? Because it has some abuse, like it borderlines abuse. Domineering, being a leader and being domineering, two different things. Domineering is more like towards tyranny. Mm-hmm. Leadership, we all want leadership. You can lead me, but not being a tyrant. And domineering is more of a characteristic of a tyrant. Okay, so when it comes to what a man is looking for, and he says he's looking for a young woman that's coachable, mm-hmm. Why does that automatically assume something bad? Okay, so if your father, as young, I forget see a young lady at the bottom, we just quote, trained you to be a wife, and your parents trained you to be a wife, and they gave you over to this young man to be married to. He's looking for a young woman that's coachable, that's teachable.
Why do we have to extrapolate that he's going to be dominating or something evil with that? Why can't we just assume that he's teaching you and coaching you how he wants you to move in his relationship with him? Why do we assume that that he doesn't have our best interests at heart?
Because it's very one way. And if you also rock with what Rose said, it further goes into that conversation. It's along the same lines of conversation. So again, it's not a one-way street, because if he can coach her about what he likes, he should also take care into what she likes as well. So it's getting to know one another, getting to know one another's likes, getting to know.
Okay, so you believe in dual leadership then?
That has nothing to do with leadership. So you think I want to leak? I want you to know what I like. That's where we can disagree. Right. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that. I didn't say dual leadership. I said what I like as well. So
okay.
I want
to make sure we're clear. I guess I want to make sure we're clear. Are you talking about sex only? Talking about the relationship in general?
No, definitely not just sex. It's overall relationship.
Okay. So the reason why. So most of you guys already know. If you don't know, I will let you make sure that you understand where I'm coming from. Coming from a biblical point of view, in Ephesians, it actually teaches that the woman should submit to the man, as the church would submit to God. Now, one of the things that Christ teaches, one of the things that Christ does several things that Christ does for the church is this: he teaches, he corrects, he leads. And so when you look at the facet of what Jesus does, this is the model that he does for marriage as well. So everything that you talk about, you're looking for someone who is teachable, who accepts correction, and is willing to follow you. Same way the man has to follow Christ, and he has to be led to be correctable. He has to be teachable. The same thing you have to do to me is I have to do Christ as well. So when a man says he's looking for one that's teachable and coachable, you can't judge every man to the worst scenario, to the common worst scenario, excuse me. You can't judge every man to the worst denominator. You should judge him with the intent that he's going to be a good husband. He has my best interest at heart. I think when I get lost in these conversations, we judge every man to the worst character rather than he has my best intention. So when he looks for a young woman that's coachable and teachable and correctable, he's going to lead her the right way.
John, why do you assume?
No, let me go ahead. Nay, you can jump in. Let me just read the super chat.
Yeah.
Mike Brown with a $10 super chat. It is more about the man being able to lead his daughter as a husband to be than her being ready to be a wife. That's why men give their daughter away to Ro. Go ahead, Nay.
As you were quoting Ephesians 5:24, all I kept thinking is, are these men submitting to Christ? Because you're saying that the wife should be submitting to you as the husband, but first that husband should be submitting to Christ. So is he submitting to Christ in order for her to submit to you as the husband?
And that would be
all men are doing that.
Well, then if your father gave you away to a man who's not submitted to Christ, that's your father's fault. Well, if you picked a man,
marriage, though.
Or if you picked a woman, if you picked a man on your own that didn't submit to Christ, that's your fault. Because no woman should really, and I know y'all don't like hearing, that's not a public conversation in this day and time, but no woman should pick her own husband. But because we live in a liberated society, women pick their own husbands now. So you pick men who don't submit to Christ, and you get what you married to. So you don't want to submit to a man. Even if he did follow Christ, a lot of women don't want to submit because they don't want to follow anyone else's leadership. People are independent. They want to do what they want to do.
We don't want to follow bonehead leadership. Like, I don't appreciate the assumption that everybody is worth following or everybody is worthy of being a leader. So you don't want us to assume that people who want to coach younger women have bad intentions. You shouldn't also assume that every man is capable of leading, that has they have the capacity to lead, they have the know-how, they have.
I don't think I did that. I don't think I did that because if you listen to me, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Let me cut you off. Go ahead.
Let me just super chat real quick. One pill with a $5 super chat. Protection is one way as well, but men don't complain about that, love. Go ahead, Danny.
I'm just saying, like, I don't appreciate I feel like there is an assumption that every man is worthy of leading a woman, and that we have nothing to bring to the table. We have only things to learn from them, and we can only be taught by them, and we know absolutely nothing about anything. And it's asinine to me.
Yes.
I think you took my words out of context, because I specifically said,
Tell me how.
That as a man follow Christ.
Yeah.
I specifically said that. And then so now the idea is that you shouldn't pick a man. Your father should pick a man for you, or give the final approval for you. And so that way you don't get what you're talking about now, a man who can't lead. Because a man can tell another man can lead. Another man can tell another man when another man is insufficient or can't handle certain situations. A man can see that.
I understand what you're saying, but for the sake, and I don't disagree with that point that you're making, but for the sake of conversation, since everyone here is not Christian, all of the listeners are not Christians, can we speak on a broader sense as well? Because every man is not under the leadership of Christ, right? Or under the tutelage of Christ. Everyone is not a follower of Christ. So what about all of those people, all of those relationships, all of those men who want to have younger women, who want to lead younger women, chaotic, all of chaotic's followers. Chaotic don't fuck with Christ, but he want to lead. He want a young woman. He's the biggest advocate of this bullshit. And that's what I'm saying. Like, when you have people like that who are pushing this agenda to lead and to coach women and whatever, but they don't have anything of substance that they have to even offer the woman, because they don't have the proper training or tutelage or whatever. You understand?
So to answer your question,
John, before you finish though, I just want to make sure that it's clear. So John made a very distinct point about men that's following Christ. If a woman doesn't pick said man, then some of that onus is on her for the outcome. I was going to make sure that his point was understood with that.
I understood and agreed with it.
He also said that a woman shouldn't pick her own husband. That's outside of even being a Christian. So that's then he's saying, so then he's saying if your father picks your husband, the onus is on him, right? To make sure he finds a man and picks a man or qualifies a man for you that can lead, which doesn't even have to necessarily have anything to do with Christianity.
This is a lot of shoulda, coulda, wouldas, but we're in a society where most of us, or the majority of us, come from single parent households. They don't have fathers.
So I came with single parent homes. I came with single parent household too.
I did not.
I'm gonna speak on what you just said though.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna tell you is, when I became an adult, I looked at even when I was a child, I looked at what I grew up in, and I looked at then as I got older, I looked at what worked and what didn't work. I did not emulate and follow the things that didn't work. I only followed things that did work. So even if you grew up in a broken home, I would pretty much bet your paycheck to my paycheck that I come from the most broken situation you can come from. But it's not an excuse though, because you have a choice in society to look at what you want to do. If you don't want to follow the model that I talked about, you don't have to. You don't have to follow the Christian principles. You don't have to. No, I'm not saying you. I'm just being clear for a second. You can follow whatever model you want to, but then whatever choice you choose, those choices come with consequences. You can control your choice, but you can never control your consequences.
I understand that, but I'm speaking to the point that you made about women shouldn't even choose their own husbands. Their father should choose them for them. So I'm speaking about women who don't have fathers.
Then you should surround yourself with men who have your best interests.
Okay.
And I'm not mean, and I don't mean in a sexual. I mean just men who generally.
No, I know what you mean.
So wait, I want to get, because Miss Nay been patient. She's been trying to talk. Just as a microcosm, Ro, Dana, Sis, Lex, Isha, Love, have dads. Right? So when we make these points, we understand, but even in the microcosm, there are representatives up here that have fathers that could guide them to those situations what John Baptist has described. Go ahead, Ms. Nay.
I was gonna ask. So, what about those? Because I didn't grow up with my actual father. I grew up with a stepfather in the church.
Yeah,
Who
that's what
would
he's saying.
choose? Yes, who but would choose for me, but did not choose the right type of person, and wanted me to go according to the Bible and everything. They end up choosing for me someone who was extremely abusive to me. So how do you handle something like that? Because I don't think that you should always say, okay, well, what the father chooses, because the father may not be choosing wisely. And you may say, I don't want that for myself. So now you're making the decision on your own outside of what your father would choose. And if I would have went with my actual father, oh, that's another story.
Well, that's we got to make sure you have to have discernment, understand that every man that's in the church or every woman that's in the church may not be actually in the church. So you know, if your father or stepfather is not displaying the actual tenets of the teaching of the faith that you may practice, or the principles, let's take it outside of religion. If he teaches principles that you know are destructive to you or to society, why would you listen to that stepfather or that father?
Then you make your
The
own
idea,
decision.
the ideal is that you would know. The ideal is you would look for someone who displays those principles and characteristics and morals that you want to be in a husband. So your family is not just people that's in your house.
Mm-hmm. But then you have to have the ideal father figure around, so you even understand what that even is. Because how would you know if you don't have it?
You need to find same way as like I didn't know how to be a man. I had to learn this. My father was not a great example for me. My stepfather was not a great example for me. But what I did, I wouldn't find other men who were great examples for me. See, when we grew up as kids from broken homes, we know what doesn't work. Mm-hmm. And so why would you want to copy something that doesn't work? Find something that works, make them your mentor, and then learn from them.
Yes, but I'm just going off of the fact that you said that women, if we choose it, is on us. Like it's almost like
correct.
We're at fault if we choose the wrong man. But then our fathers or father figures can choose the wrong person for us too.
I said the onus falls on the man. If he makes a bad choice for you, the onus falls on him because he chose for you.
So then we're gonna choose for ourselves.
You can do that. I'm just saying, it's like the way it works. The way it works is that if your father chooses, he's had more invested into you. And so you want a man who has these principles and standards that he actually lives himself. When he lives by these standards and principles, he's not going to give you to a man who doesn't have what he has what he values. So the problem is you're talking about is there are some men, whether it be your stepfather or father, who don't have the values, but they gave you to someone that didn't have the values that you were looking for. Okay. And so just because they raised you don't mean that they may not have the values that stands to be a great father or a great husband. But then you have to learn, you have to make sure that you listen to your father, whether it be your father on earth or your father in heaven. I don't want to start teaching on Bible study, so I'm not going to go too deep into that. But anyway, no.
Church.
So
I gotta.
Go ahead, sis.
I just wanted to know: does he feel that older women are not coachable, or do you go along with the sentiment that men should date younger women because they are so-called coachable?
One thing I know about, I'm 40. I'll be 49 tomorrow.
God bless.
So one of the things I do know is I don't care if it's man or I don't care if it's male or female. Once you get to a certain age, you're not really trying to learn. You're not really trying to learn a lot of stuff new. You do become stuck in your ways. You love a routine. Routine makes life more comfortable for you. So therefore, it works out better for. So to answer your question directly, men want younger women because they're more coachable. They adapt to change quicker. I've been married for 28 years, and me and my wife we have established a routine now. If I change that routine, it's gonna be difficult now because she's been moving this way consistently for 28 years. It's nothing negative. It's just what it is. It's easier. Myself as an older man, I'm not trying to change my whole life upside down right now. I'm gonna be resistant to change. So why do we think that women won't be resistant to change once you get to a certain age?
Because no, what let me address that. Because we understand entering a relationship, there has to be compromises. You're learning one another. And so that does not mean that because we're older that everyone has a routine. You can be younger and have a routine, but you still adapt. You adapt to your new circumstance, your new environment. That's a part of being an adult. That's a part of being an evolving being. So that I want to be very clear. We're not talking in theory and esoterically. We're talking practically and real amongst critically thinking adult women on this panel. And I think sometimes that gets lost in these comments and people come up here and talk to us. We are critical thinking, analytical women. And so, no, wait, please, sir, wait.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm listening to you.
We understand. We're not stupid. When we enter into a relationship, we know there's going to be adapting. We understand that. That's with anybody. So yes, we can submit if we choose to, right? Some women don't believe that. Some of us, most of us do though. We there's nothing wrong with submission. We want to submit to the right man, of course, and whatnot. If we're not being led down a wrong path. But we also of course, like our routine, like everybody else does, but we know how to adapt. And I want that false narrative to disappear. Like, let's be real
So can I ask you a question then? Is it easier to learn? Is it easier to unlearn, then learn, or just learn?
What's it to do with what I just said about adapting to a new environment? Now, honestly, I'm not even being funny. Like, it's like you're talking in riddles. I'm saying directly.
It's all about adapting, and it's all about adapting, right? So the question I'm asking you is it easier to unlearn, then learn again, or just learn the first time? And dealing with a man.
Takes long. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'll let you answer.
So of course, there's an extra step if you have to unlearn something, then learn something new. Of course, that's common sense. I'm talking about adapting, and that has nothing to do with age. If I'm coming into a new job, I may have done it one way at this job. I learned at this new culture at this new job. Like, I'm not understanding why we're missing each other on.
No, you're not. I do understand. I understand what you're saying too, and that's what I'm gonna try to explain it another way. So correct. I've been in my field for over almost 30 years. 15 years I worked for one company. I left that one company, went to another company. But now when I left one company, went to the next, I couldn't do what I did at the old company because the new company didn't want it done this way. Had to unlearn the last position in the last company and now move according to the new company.
Yeah.
But now when I first came into the industry, they just had to teach me in my industry. I was young. I was 20 years old, 23 years old. And so all they do was just teach me what they wanted me to do at 23. Yeah. But when I transferred in my mid 30s to another company, had to unlearn the last company and learn the new companies.
Mm-hmm. Let me read this real quick. Kevin C with the Honduras 75 is $3.50. $3.50. We understand that fathers can make the occasional mistake in evaluating other men, but most do much better job than women do on their own.
Correct.
One more. Mike Brown with the $5 super chat. Thanks, my brother. Thanks, John. Younger are more adaptable. Older being not so adaptable. Take coaching out of it. I mean, even when I hire people, I'd rather hire people who don't come from other companies that do what we do, because I have to literally teach them, and they have to like take all the foolishness or whatever they learn out of it. So I prefer to get people who have good traits, like they work hard, they're disciplined, they're gonna be on time, and I could show them how to do the job.
I think we're thinking that women and men think the same. We don't. A woman, the point being is, it doesn't matter what age a woman is. She just needs to understand the principle of leadership And if she understands that, she's going to adapt to any change that man throws at her because she trusts in his leadership. And purpose has always got to be the foundation. And if they're walking on the same purpose, why would she come against anything that this man tells her?
I like that, Isha.
I think also
experience will sometimes make her do that, because she has experience in certain areas and certain things that sometimes it's hard for her to break her experience and listen to something else that's new. Not saying that she wanted, I'm sorry, go ahead.
There's men out here who could meet a woman and that woman will totally submit and be just different. We experienced that when Hank came on the podcast. We felt different. It's a different vibration. So we can adapt and we will submit if the man is right.
Yeah, I respect and value relationships differently when we're a little bit older and you've had more experience. But go ahead.
I think the display on what happened with Hank was awesome. But I think John has come very profound in what he's been saying. And I don't think it should be dismissed because we don't agree. I think what Isha just said, I think is valid. I also think Isha learned that in the last couple years, which is shout out to her. But I just feel like Isha's an outlier. Because I don't think people change. I think they mask. I think Dana and I agreed on that. And they can kind of control some of them urges and not do certain things, but that'll always be them.
I think traumatic situations make people change too. I think that if you have been through something traumatic and you don't want to go through it again, that's that touching the hot stove. You're not going to touch it again because you got burnt. You don't want to, you don't want to do it again. And I think that those experiences should be valued in teaching, particularly us women, like I said, that have been divorced. I learned a hard lesson, and I had to learn that I had to learn how to submit to a man, but I also had to learn that it's a certain type of man that I'm going to submit to. I had to learn that.
See, and I agree with you, but I think what we disagree is that we have to understand what men like. Men don't value experience in the sense of no. I'm okay. Go ahead. I want to be real.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I think that men don't like Hamp said, he don't want to go to the same restaurant his wife went to because she already experienced it and he wants to be the one to expose her to stuff. I got that part. What I mean by experience is, as I said, when a woman, and like Sis said, when a woman comes across a man that she feels she can submit to, she's going to submit. She trusts him. She's confident that he's not going to hurt her. She'll feel secure. She'll feel stable. That is about submission. It is and we will do whatever you ask us to do. If we feel those things, if we can quantitatively determine that you're going to keep your word, we're going to submit to you.
It's called the soft or energetic.
Why is the caveat? Why is the caveat always if you don't hurt us? If you wills, why is it that you just can't find a man that's worth submitting to the very first time?
Oh no!
Come on now. No. Giving their trust off the
Come
bat.
on, John.
No,
wait now.
That's naive. That's what you get from the younger woman.
I'm gonna use the work analogy like using. I'm in HR. You know good and well that you was not going to pick that job if that job was not giving you more money or more time or whatever it is that you needed to make this change from the company you have been at for so many X amount of years. You wasn't making that change unless you knew that they were going to give you something where you valued it, right?
What I'm saying is, though, we always work from a negative. We always work. When I hear women sometimes talk about this, you speak from the negative from the very start.
Your job as a husband is to protect and provide.
And I'm not disagreeing with that.
In those two duties, that includes stability and security. If I can't trust you, that's creating instability.
And that's what that's what I was trying to say. That's what I was trying to clarify. So that's what I was trying to say. So let me clarify again. What happened in your first relationship that made you deal with a man that hurts you? Because what I'm trying to say is we should never start off from a negative when we do into relationships. he shouldn't have to prove that. He shouldn't have to prove himself because of what the first man did.
That has nothing to do with it. That's for anything. That's any man. That's
You have
any
to show yourself
friend. That's
worthy.
anybody.
We're all
I
proving
think
ourselves.
I think the key with the analogy though, the job knows your qualifications. Like they can see them on paper and therefore they hire you for them. If you were divorced, you got fired, how desirable is that?
Well, I didn't get fired. If I initiated, I left.
I don't know if you got fired or not.
Well, I'm just telling you, it was my choice. And so I don't ever get fired anywhere, and that's including my real life jobs.
Women make poor choices of leaving men because they're not happy.
That's another point.
We're gonna make decisions whether or not we feel stable and secure.
Let me ask you a question. Do you are y'all serious? Do you think that men are sitting up here thinking that, yeah, y'all gonna be agreeable, y'all gonna listen? I mean, come on, it's not realistic. What he's saying is factual.
I'm not saying
even if a kid, look, good God Almighty, I can't even finish a sentence.
I'm not saying I agree.
Go ahead, Ro. You're 100% correct, bro. You're 100% correct, bro. I cut you off while I was talking. Yeah, bro, I cut you off while I was talking. You 100% correct. I don't know how. The first time in history, I cut you off while I was talking. Kids, even learning, you learn better as you're younger. It's just unrealistic for older people to just flip. It just old dog new tricks is just very unreasonable. For y'all to sit up here and act like, no, we can all do it. That shit just don't seem plausible.
It is though, and it occurs.
Said that, Ham. It just sounded like what we were saying. Like you want to be able to manipulate the mind of somebody who's younger, and when it's older, you feel like you can't teach us anything. But if you are leading correctly, yes, you can. That's the whole thing about this soft girl everything. That's like this new wave. Yes, if you have the right person by your side, they can get you to kind of like, you know, I can do that. I can let my guard down a little bit. You can change. You are adaptable to change with the right person. Yes, you are.
Where'd the guard come from? Where'd the guard come from?
So remember
because of your traumatic experiences.
Where did guard come from?
Because of your traumatic experiences, like bro said.
And that's the point. That's the main point is that you're dealing with trauma, and so when I met my wife, she has the earlier I meet my spouse, the less she's dealt with in life.
I don't believe in that because I work in CPS. I know these children experience more trauma than I've experienced as an adult, and they carry that and it comes out as they get older in age. So you can't say that age depicts how much trauma a person is going to experience, because that's absolutely.
I can say that. This is what I can say with a certain certainty. That on average, that if a person lived 19 years, another person lived 45 years. On average, I can average out that person who lived 45 years have seen more in life than that 19-year-old has.
But
it doesn't mean every certain circumstance, but it does mean on average, I have a better shot with a person who lived less than a person who lived longer.
If they have undealt with trauma, that's not true.
Okay, what I'm saying to you is the person. What I just said. Listen to what I just said. I'm gonna say it again. If you live 19 years or 45 years, on average, you've seen less at 19.
Now you're right, but don't you think that a 19-year-old will respond to trauma differently than a 45-year-old person?
At 19, I can teach. At 19, I can teach. I can teach her how to handle it sooner rather than later. Because if you go from 20 to 45, now you have 25 more years of trauma that hasn't been dealt with in a healthy way. If I teach a 20-year-old when she first has an experience, I can teach her the correct way how to handle certain experiences.
Shouldn't you want her after she's already dealt with it and not try to get with her to teach her that? You should want her to already have dealt with her traumas before you get with her.
I don't want to deal with women with trauma in general. That's what I'm trying to say in the beginning. Like experience. What I'm trying to say is, we have to stop in the Black community starting a relationship from a negative position. We need more healthy fathers, more healthy mothers working together to get rid of the drama, so that you're not starting from a negative. We promote starting from a negative going into relationships. That's a bad way to start.
So I just want to say this super duper quick. Hamp, if you recall, I think we were all on that panel. Mm-hmm. When Hank came on the panel, he sat there and said he does the one pot rule, right? We all were like, ooh. We listened to him talk for maybe 10 minutes or less, right? At the end of him talking about it, we were like, okay, I can rock with that. Like we had actually, our mindset had shifted to considering it. And it wasn't as bad as we thought, because it was the delivery behind it and how he approached the situation, saying he would have communication, he would talk. Like it was very inclusive and loving surrounding that. It was not, I'm going to say this and you're going to do that. It wasn't that way. It's all about how you treat the situation. And so I'm bringing that up because we are older women from the standard, I guess, and we adapted and changed our minds. And we had a paradigm shift in saying that's not so bad from what we originally thought after he gave his explanation. There is a way to deliver a message, is all I'm saying, and how to have an inclusive, loving environment to help us, and we will adapt. And that was proven on the podcast.
Yeah, I think that conversation was a little bit different of a conversation. I also think John has been very measured, very understanding, very diplomatic. He allowed everybody to jump in. Ro had the nerve to try to keep talking over me, and she don't even got no microphone. They can't hear shit she's saying when I edit it out, and I'm gonna mute her while I'm editing. But John has been very fluid. He hasn't said a single thing out of order or anything. But because we don't like it, we acting like his what I don't are you what was your messaging for? It wasn't for me, because it couldn't have been for John.
Who are you talking to?
You. Like, he didn't say anything out the way at all.
I agree. He didn't say anything disrespectful. We're having a dialogue. And so when we're talking, we're making points. It's like our points aren't even being acknowledged. It's like I'm listening to respond. That's
John?
Yes.
I thought I addressed every issue that was addressed.
The points.
No, I don't think all that. I don't think all the point. Okay.
Well, no, I ain't John. So, John has actually replied to you guys everything he was saying, and then when he's talking, we shaking our heads.
Can I say something? I actually appreciate this dialogue very much with John. I think that of the guests that we've had, he's probably one of my favorites, and I do appreciate the conversation, even though it does seem to kind of be a little bit roundabout and a little cyclical, a little bit. But I do think that he has been listening, and we've had an interesting dialogue. But I do have one question before Kev jumps on, because I don't know how much time I'm gonna have once he gets to
Y'all ain't shit, man.
You're right. I'm an ancient ass nigga, but I got a question. I'm gonna get it out.
Read the super chat after your question for me.
I'm gonna read it before. Shout out to Mike Brown with a $2 super chat. What about following correctly? And it's kind of tied into my question too. But I just wanted to go back a little bit, because John made the point, and also Kev, before he got on, was making the point about fathers and the parents, and we kind of got away from that. And I just had one question I wanted to circle back to really quickly. John made the point that if you don't have a father in your life, then it's your job to seek out a father figure, a village, somebody who can select a husband for you, who will make good decisions, who will encourage you, who will lead you in the right direction, right? So my question is, John, how is it that we're capable of seeking out a man to step into the role of a father figure for us, to make a decision to choose a husband for us, but we're incapable of choosing a husband for ourselves?
I think you can't. Well, this is what I've learned. To answer your question, this is what I've learned over the years. I kind of went through the same thing when I was looking for a father figure to raise me, because I didn't know what a father figure looked like, because I didn't have one. One of the things I did was I had to learn what I didn't want and then compare it to what I do want. And so I had to find men who were willing to invest in me the time to let me I can like a little kid, just walk behind them and kind of learn. the little scraps they drop off, learn from the scraps they drop off,
Mm-hmm.
and learn how to serve in a way that they would invest the time in me to teach me what I did not know. And so when you come from a broken situation, this is what you end up doing. As a female, you're kind of doing the same thing. You're trying to find men who you can trust would have your best interest, that can invest in you in the time that you would need to learn from them what a father figure or a husband would look like. Because when you come from a broken situation, it becomes more difficult to see this. So you have to look for creative avenues, because what happens is our mothers failed us in getting us the men that we needed to learn. So we have to take up the role of our mother, what our mothers did, what our mothers taught us.
Yeah, I get that, but I just don't understand why you feel like we're unable to apply that same discernment.
For the same reason why I couldn't do it. I had to find a man that could teach me.
Okay. I'll take it. I think you're missing it, but I'm not going to harp on it.
No, I get what you're saying. You try to say why. You're asking me the question. If you can't pick a husband, how can you pick a father figure? Correct?
Kinda. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, I don't want to say kinda. If I'm not, that's not what you're asking me. I want to be clear.
Okay. To be perfectly clear, I'm saying, how is it that if we don't have a father figure, if a woman does not have a father, rather, and we're trusting somebody, we're seeking someone that we can trust to select a husband for us, how, without having a father and knowing what that looks like and what it's supposed to be, we're able to do that. But without having a husband and knowing what that's like and experience that and knowing what that's supposed to be, why are we able to do one but not the other?
Okay, I'm gonna be clear. I'm gonna go back and be clear and say it this way. I'm gonna be clearer. You're working from a negative. It's impossible for you. It's almost impossible for you to pick a husband before someone teaches you. The problem is our mothers failed us in getting us men that can teach us, whether it be a husband or either be a son or to be a daughter. Our mothers failed us in getting us what we need. So now what happens, because our parents failed us, we now have to become our own parents. And so we have to seek the people that can teach us what our parents did not teach us. I'm not saying it's gonna be perfect. I'm not saying it's gonna be easy. What I'm saying is, this is what you have to do. You have to teach yourself what your parents didn't teach you. I don't know another way to say it other than that. Is that, like, because our parents failed us, we have to now learn on our own, which puts us in a vulnerable situation to be taken advantage of. But the thing is, once we learn though, we have to make sure that we teach our kids so we can stop the cycle of broken family. So the next generation doesn't experience that.
I get it, but you're explaining the why and not really. It's okay. I'm not going to harp on it. We can move on.
So I think how.
I have to agree. I have to agree to a large degree. I have to agree with that last statement. But I just wanted to ask, is being coachable even with being attractive for men who are seeking women?
Sorry, repeat the question.
Yeah. So since you're saying, does being coachable outrank beauty?
Yeah.
That's every man's standard. I look for attraction. It's okay, but I want to know, who are you willing to work with me more than the attraction? There has to be some attraction there, but you have to have the willingness to work with me, and the ability to follow and learn.
Sis, for the general public, he ain't gonna know if you're agreeable or not if you ain't attractive. So you could be as agreeable as ever. If you ain't pretty, put him in the bathroom. You know what I mean? John could talk that shit, but if his wife wasn't gorgeous, right? And attraction.
No, I think I said attraction is important. Attraction is there. You want attraction there, but attraction is not gonna keep you if I talk with you for a couple of days and you're not there. You can't follow me. If you're not agreeable, you're not gonna be there with me.
Definitely, I think they're pretty close.
If I met two women, one was attractive, and let's say one was an 8, and then one was a 4.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked to both of them, and I had time to know both of them. And one was agreeable. Let's say the 8 was less agreeable, and the 4 was attractive. Was less attractive, but more agreeable. I'm gonna go with the ones that make my life easier.
All right, John, you was doing good. All right,
But no, that's where
I don't believe that.
No, you don't have to. I'm not asking you to believe it, because what I've learned in my years of living is that beauty is vain.
Yeah, it's fleeting.
So what I'm looking for the thing that's okay. You can be attractive, but after I talk to you for a while,
yeah,
you can appear ugly to me. But I've talked to some women that are average looking or below average looking, but because of their spirit, you become attracted to them. Now that's not average, but it's what you value.
Yeah. There's some outliers for sure. John, let me get.
Go ahead, man. I enjoyed the conversation, bro.
Thanks,
You
John.
have something for John? Sis,
No,
do you have something for John, sis?
Well, I was just gonna say to you, I wasn't comparing John and Hank. Different energy, different vibe, different topic, like you said. But why does Will think we're sensitive? Just because we're having a conversation?
No, I didn't even read it yet. I'm about to read it. I just want to make sure. Hey, John, did you anything else for the ladies? Hey, John, you've been a hell of a caller, man, for real. I appreciate the questions, comments. I think you had some smoke in there too, for sure. Anything else for the ladies?
Man. I enjoyed it. No, I think they addressed everything I wanted to talk about. I enjoy y'all conversation that y'all do have too. I think y'all got a great panel. I'm John the Baptist for a reason, because I'm a little bit different than normal society. If you know anything about the character John the Baptist, I don't really follow everyday society. I kind of walk to the beat of my own drum.
Yeah.
So you everything I said won't be a YouTube talking point. So
yeah,
I think that's why sometimes people agree with me, sometimes people don't, and some people don't, because I don't go with everybody else go. But I want to say this conversation that y'all have on these panels, it's some good conversations though. Y'all do. Yeah. But I enjoyed it.
Thank you, my brother. Hey, John, do me a favor. Leave your email in the back chat.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right, my brother. Be safe. You heard?
Yep.
All right.
Later, John.
Yeah, John was good, man. Shout out to John the Baptist, man. I was on a panel. I think we was on Chaotic panel. He was kicking somebody's ass over there. So shout out to John the Baptist. Mr. Kevin C., what up, though?
Hello, you guys. Hello to you, sir, as the host, and all to the ladies on the panel. Hello to
Indeed.
Hey, Kev, welcome back.
Yeah, no doubt. Let me get this super chat real quick. And sis wanted to reply. Will with the $5 super chat. Shout out to Will first off. Will over here every Tuesday, every Wednesday showing wild love. He was kicking rock ass 2 weeks in a row. He kicked Scam Likely off, so Will can't do no wrong with me. Will, you should be a moderator. If you ain't, let me know. Will with the $5 super chat. Disclaimer, no disrespect to any of the ladies. Are you guys a little more sensitive about this topic because you're older women? Go ahead, sis.
I was just asking, what does he hear or feel that? How did he come to that conclusion? That's all. And I consider older 50. I'm not anywhere near 50 yet. Will, thank you.
Yeah, no, I think you just if you read in the room, you might could just tell the energy different. Yeah,
we're not sensitive. We are sharing our point of view as one should on a podcast.
Thank you.
Well, he said no
the dialogue.
And we think that we are awesome as older women. Like, it's popping over here.
Definitely not sensitive. We were just having dialogue.
Let me read it again. No disrespect to any of the ladies. Are you guys a little more sensitive about this topic because you're older? Is it possible that certain topics can hit a nerve?
I don't think this is one of them.
Of course it can, but I don't think this is one of them. Yeah.
Go ahead, Nick. Go ahead, Tay.
No, I was gonna say I think so, but not in particular this one. Okay. Yeah, I'm a little sensitive.
That's fair. He may just be going off to some of the responses when really you guys just having a dialogue to your point with John the Baptist. I think that you guys have built up a callus from doing this, especially the ladies that come on Wednesday. y'all don't give a fuck. Like, y'all be going through it. Like, we do this every Tuesday and Wednesday, you know. But it's okay.
Well, him, and I think I was responding to, because you read a bunch of them and whatever, but that's the misconception in the real world. Let me get there. That's a misconception in the real world too. It's like they think Black women are sensitive and can't handle genuine, real conversations, and then we're not chosen for different reasons as such. I think that's unfortunate, and I want that to stop. Will.
Yeah, I mean, you making all the faces, you breaking your neck up and shit. But yeah, I guess you're right. That's just how y'all talk. I don't know.
We just asking questions.
Look. Hold on, I'm not done there. Sis just rolled her eyes, threw her hand up. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, y'all just do this for the panel. I got it.
I was gonna say no disrespect, Will, but we don't give a fuck about none of that shit you just typed up here.
Come on here,
It's popping over here in the older women world.
Yo, don't fuck that. I gotta stick up for Will. Watch it. God damn it. That's my man.
But keep subscribing, Will. Thank you.
And then they do this shit. She's like, oh, it's whatever, but go ahead and mute. But yeah, you're right. You're right.
I was there with you because
y'all got great. Y'all got great decorum. Y'all got great decorum. Ro just try to overtalk me. She don't got no mic. She don't give a fuck. Every time I say some shit to Dana, oh shit, here this nigga go. Come on, man. Yeah, y'all.
What? I have not responded that way.
You're right. It was just once a little bit, but yeah.
Him was being sensitive. See, as you him.
And look, Lex daydreaming. She ain't even paying attention. Yeah, y'all doing a great job for sure.
I tried talking like 3 times and it went over, so I just stopped altogether.
Well, the thing is, who are you comparing us to? We're the ceiling. I think people gotta match our energy.
Amen, sis.
That's what I think.
Amen. You preaching.
Come on, sis.
Sis preaching.
Yeah, she is. Come on.
I can't, man. Let me get Mr. Kevin the show, man. What up, Mr. Kev? How you?
Doing all right, good sir. Good conversation. John the Baptist, that was actually really good. He had a lot of good responses to you guys and any questions, and then good dialogue and back and forth.
Question, comment, or smoke?
I got a question and some comments, but I came in late, so I actually went back and tried to review some of what you guys were talking about, and of course I disagree with some of what the women were saying. So the question on the floor is, why should men date older women? So I'm asking you guys to tell me what, because the general consensus is that if men are going to date, the women need to be younger. That's just a general consensus among men. You guys know that, right? Okay, so if you don't know that, that's generally, when men have this conversation, they generally talk about going younger. Even when they remarry, they just still generally talking about going towards a younger woman. All of that being said, what are like 3 or 4 reasons that a man would date an older woman? Why would he go in that direction if he was looking for a wife?
Value, security, the wetter the better, and stability.
How old was your first wife, Kev? Just remind us.
She was close to my age. And I notice you guys do that. You always kind of bring it back to me.
I'm
answer
here.
The question.
You're here.
You're the one here. You're the one talking.
But I notice you guys do that. I notice people do that. You guys always bring the response or the comments back to me.
What are we supposed to talk about?
Okay, but I just answered the question. My wife, we were like about less than a year, about a year difference. First wife.
She was a little younger.
Yeah, about a year difference, and then of course, my current wife is about 12 years. Well, just a little over 12, but yeah, 12 years.
So you were able to coach her better? Is that what it was, Kevin?
You talking about which one?
Everybody,
the new one. The 12 years younger. She was coachable.
No, she was already good.
Oh, she didn't have to coach her at all. She got it all together.
I didn't need to have to do too much.
Oh,
she's already good. That's why. That's one of the reasons I chose her. Remember, I told you guys I was not necessarily looking for a wife, another wife. I was already married, divorced, already had the kids. I was kind of, doing my thing.
So what went wrong with the first one? I was actually living the life
of Riley. I was literally, I had a woman for like a year and a half, maybe 2, sometimes 3, and then I just kind of switch it up and I'd be done with it. I wasn't necessarily looking for another wife.
But what happened with the first one then?
Well, like I told you guys, that the relationship did not go the way I wanted it to go. It's really that simple.
I guess
there's a lot more to it, but I'm summing it up like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Kev,
When I say the way, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But Kev, they trying to clarify. Did you divorce her?
Yeah.
She wasn't coachable, Kevin. Come on. She wasn't coachable.
No, well, she wasn't. I wouldn't have married her.
But then why'd you leave?
Because the relationship did not go the way I wanted it to go. The way that I was leading the relationship and the marriage.
Because she
and
wasn't
the family
coachable.
and everything else.
Yeah, she wasn't coachable. We can sum it up. She wasn't coachable.
Thank you.
All right, if that's a conclusion that you guys are going to reach, this is why, again, you guys always kind of bring it back to me as if somehow I'm the case study here. I'm not the case study.
You're gonna build statistics.
You are, because they always say.
He came up here and started talking. So
I'm one of the 30% of the guys who actually filed for divorce. Yes, I'm one of that. And understand, ladies. So you guys know the top 2 reasons that men actually file for divorce. By the way, you guys know the top 2 reasons.
What is?
Enlighten us.
For men.
Enlighten us.
Usually, a man will file for divorce if, there's other reasons like infidelity and irreconcilable differences, whatever. But generally, I looked this up. The top 2, and I can forget which one is number 1 or number 2. But I know what the top 2 are. If a woman gets sentenced to prison, so if she's incarcerated, men generally go ahead and file for divorce, or if she has an uncontrollable addiction that she can't get over. So those are the extreme reasons. She's either going to jail or she's got an addiction that she can't control, whether it's alcohol, drugs, or whatever. But those are the top 2 reasons for men.
So one of those was your reason?
No, absolutely not. And she wasn't. I'm not gonna. No, she wasn't that bad. No, but I'm just telling you. I'm giving you some perspective on when men generally file for divorce. Those top 2, those reasons are in there. And out of all the reasons that men do it, when you add infidelity, irreconcilable differences, whatever, and understand that there is some physical abuse towards men sometimes. That does happen. So of all the reasons that men can file for divorce, those are the top 2 that men generally do when it comes to, initiating divorce. None of those were my reasons.
Okay, that provided zero perspective. Zero perspective. What are you saying? That provided zero perspective. What are you saying? That
didn't give you guys anything?
What are you saying, Kev?
Because if those are the top 2 reasons, and that means that men generally don't file for divorce unless it's extreme. They want to try to work through the situation. They want to try to keep the family together.
But you said that to say what?
So for me, because you guys brought it back to me. So if the marriage is going the way I want it to go, then I have no reason to divorce. Like I really should be married to my first wife, right?
Yeah.
I thought I made that clear, that because you guys keep asking me that. I thought I made that clear that, without bad mouthing my ex-wife, because I'm not going to do that. Just the vision that I had for how it was supposed to go in the marriage did not go the way I wanted it to go.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's get to
your question. And that's the end of it.
That's why we said not coachable, but it's fine. That's cool.
If that's the conclusion you guys reached, then that's fine. That's fine.
Let me read this real quick. Omega Green with the $5 super chat. Question for the panel: what competitive advantage do older women have over younger women regarding the things men find important in relationships? All right, Mr. Kev, give me a concise answer. Do older women have a competitive advantage over younger women based on what men find
with regard to life experience? They do with regard to general overall life experience, but as far as what men are really looking for, as far as like John was talking about, less of everything, less, and then they're just going to be younger, better, probably be able to give you more kids if that's what you're looking for.
So no advantage.
Men actually have to think about a woman's fertility. Especially if you don't have any children at all.
Well, Mr. Kev, but no advantage, no advantages. We're talking about competitive edge.
Not really. Not if you're comparing them to younger versus older women. No.
I didn't hear from Tay.
I think that's why Will was asking, do you guys feel personal about it? Because I'm listening to the answers, and then you guys talking about manipulation, as if as if the women can't make an intelligent decision. And it also goes back to with the conversation you guys were having with John, it actually points to the importance of fathers, by the way. All right, because you guys were talking about, fathers, picking the husbands and all the other, and he's not necessarily pick your husband. He's more or less helping you with the evaluation process. That's the way I look at it. All right, I got 3 daughters. Nobody's come to me yet seriously about a husband, but I would expect them to actually come and talk to me and see me, and I got to get to know this dude. He's trying to come into the family, because I pretty much tell my daughters I don't want junk in the family. All right, so they know that if some dude's trying to marry them, or is he real serious about them, then obviously he has to come see me, and we got to sit down, we got to talk, and we got to get evaluated and all the other stuff, and and that's actually part of the process anyway. When I married my second wife, I didn't just pop up and say, okay, I'm going to marry you. I had to talk to her father, all 4 of her brothers and several uncles, and then of course the mother-in-law.
That's part of their culture, though, right?
Well, yeah, but that's when that's part of. I suspect that should be part of everybody's culture.
It should, but it's particularly part of your wife's culture. That is part of.
Hold on, y'all. I want to get some more answers to this super chat.
I had to buy a goat too.
Shut up. They don't have to buy goats in Honduras, sis. Or do y'all? Kevin, you had to buy a goat for her? Oh, all right.
No.
Hey.
That would be probably Africa, maybe someplace in the Middle East. No shade to them. That's just what they do.
All 62 countries in Africa.
It's 54, but
54. My bad. Hey, Tay, what you think about this question? Do older women have a competitive advantage over younger women? Why can't I say that clean?
I think in terms of now that we've had a little bit more dialogue, and I understand you guys are talking about in terms of dating to marry. No, I think, of course, guys are going to go for the younger women, but the value that older women bring, of course, like I said before, the experience, the, more mature, being settled into life, things of that nature. But dating an older woman just to date her, do your thing. But dating an older woman with intention to marry her, I don't think that's what men are trying to do. No.
Okay, so here's where I'll say an older woman might have an advantage is that with an older man who's already, again, my wife was, she was older, not super old, but again older. So if a guy's already been married and divorced, because we're gonna have a lot of that, then that's where an older woman might have an advantage. Because remember, guys are in that window where if you already have the kids, then maybe you want 1 or 2 more, not a whole, basket full of them. All right. But if he doesn't have any, then he's probably looking for that younger woman just to produce the 3 or 4 or 5 that he's looking for.
Jesus Christ.
I think older women understand that as they get older, their prospects decrease. Therefore, there's that statement, I'm not giving him all of my good years. So we understand that. So we're not arguing that point, but there's still value in an older woman.
I would say, like I said, it probably as a second wife. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
And listen. We're not older women. We're at a nice age where we can date the son, the father, or the grandfather. So let's get that straight.
Come on, Miss Isha.
You're right.
Well,
a little bit.
You okay? Yeah, date, but and to do what though? To what end?
Yeah, are you getting married, Ish?
Yeah. Because I heard women say that, but I'm not being argumentative here.
Get married. Like y'all acting like older women don't have no options out here. We have plenty options.
Oh, you have options. You just have less options. But yeah, you have options. And I'm not trying to be argumentative here, but is that not true?
But Kevin, let me ask you something.
I understand that as men get older, they have less options too. You understand that too?
Well, if the man doesn't have any money, he has less options. Yeah. So my question was, you must have a little bit of money for you to get that younger girl, because I don't see you having too many options.
I do fine. I do well. Financially, yeah, we do. We live nice and comfortable. We're doing okay over here. I'll just say this, her life was good when, she met me. It got better, after she married me. Yeah. And you're supposed to do that, by the way. That's how what you're supposed to do, by the way. So I encourage that.
Come on here, Will. Come on here, Will.
Will is the best.
Yo, Mr. Kev, I don't know why Will kicked you off. So Mike did put $5 in your fund. So
All right, I got it.
$45. You could come on back.
All right, no, that's fine.
We need the Sandman theme on here.
Wow. Man, Will crazy. Hey, y'all, no, stop laughing. Y'all apologize to Will. Go.
Thank you, Will.
I apologize.
No, that's not what I asked you.
Apologize for what? I apologize because I told him we wasn't worried about none of that shit he was talking about. Good looks, Will.
Yeah, he was kind of coming for Will.
We love you, Will. Thank you. You're the best.
No. Hey, your shit sound crazy. What you got a PC?
Wow.
Christ.
Wow. Put him in the back. Put him in the back.
I don't know, Tay. It's giving America Online.
Yo. Damn, man. So he kicked Mr. Kev on down, man.
I got an answer to the question though.
Which one? Oh, the super chat?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So in my experience dating in the DMV area in particular, outside of this podcast, honestly, with it in dating, in social media chats and everything, there seems to be an ongoing gender war. And a lot of it is centered around what women actually bring to the table. There is a very large group of men who are not as concerned about women's ability to reproduce as much as they're concerned about their ability to bring 50-50 to the table. It's a huge, huge conversation and one that I don't particularly enjoy. But I say that to say that it does exist. And so along those lines, an older woman who's more established in her life, in her career, she's not chasing a man for the sole purpose of finding someone to provide for her. She is able to meet him where he is. And, we got this 2-income household popping, and it's not, I'm not making $30,000-$40,000 a year. Like we can do some things, we can travel, we can set up a great life for our children. We can, do X, Y, and Z. And that is attractive to a lot of men.
I like that you just said that, Dana, because wouldn't it make more sense to have an older woman because we are more established, and the young woman is like they're trying hard, like they're trying to like find themselves and trying to work towards something. We already have it. So we're bringing something to the table.
And a lot of men who are commenting and who come on the panel, they're going to say they don't care about that. They don't care about our money. They don't need it, yada, yada, yada. But in the real world, when we're out here dating, that's a huge point of contention. It's a huge argument. It's a huge conversation. Like I said a million times, personally, I don't believe in 50-50. And it really actually takes you out of the dating pool in a lot of different areas with a lot of different people. It's a big deal.
Yeah. I think the reality is men talk to men, and men are having these conversations now. That's not something that they're seeking. I don't know if people are frowning at it, to Dana's point, but what comes with that? How does she get to that level? What does she have to do? Who does she have to become? That might be those things that come with her doing so well in work and career. Her attitude changes, right? So it may not even be the money per se, but it may be her persona that comes with being that successful. Also, if a woman is making a bunch of money, the man has to make more money, has to be a certain level, has to reach a certain level of success. And I think that's where a lot of the
go ahead, sorry.
I think that's where a lot of the contention comes in.
Yeah, I hear you. But I mean, it's to the point where like the conversations are, who has to pay on the date? Who has to pay on the first date? Well, I'm not taking you out for a real date because I don't know you and I don't know if you're worth me spending my money on you. So let's go out on a pre-date. Like this crazy foolishness. It's all, a lot of it is centered around money and the money that the woman actually brings to the table. It's an ongoing, annoying, obnoxious ass conversation, but it does exist and it's very prevalent Again, specifically and especially in this area.
Well, you know what actually leads to like this pettiness, because that's what you're speaking about, is the promiscuity that has increased in women. So if they can fuck a bunch of women without having to pay for it, what the fuck they gonna take you on a date for?
How you get that from that Hamp?
No, I'm bet. See,
your show should be dislodged. Your show should be dislodged right now because you reached very, very hard.
But here's the thing: I had sex with way more women than y'all, and I know. So here's the me too. I'm kicking her ass, and Tay. So look, what I'm saying is, and Asia act like she's so fluke. She might be in the running too. Yeah,
come on,
yeah,
Asia, come on.
No. Nod that out. How about that? Mike Brown with the $10 super chat. Damn, Will, where's Rock?
No.
Do not pick him up.
Reese Anderson with the $2 super chat.
Yes,
Reese,
I don't think kids.
Hey, nay, I'm reading the super chat. Reese Anderson with the $2 super chat. I don't think you super chatted before, bro. I appreciate you, man. Welcome. Date older women for what? Can she produce kids? Omega Green with the $2 super chat. None of you on the panel respect 50-50 men.
What you talking about?
Oh, Dana knows what he's talking about. John the Baptist with the $5 super chat. Traditional men don't value the modern women. Well, excuse me. Traditional men don't value what modern women value in relationships. So, love, what this means is because Dana was talking about dates. We don't see value in dates because we get what we want without having to date you. We get what we want without having to marry you. So when they talking about 50-50 dates or half a date, like Starbucks or something like that, because he's saying, because I can still get the cheeks off the Starbucks. So why Del Frisco's you when I don't need to? That's the point I'm making.
With younger women. That's why they want the younger women. Because you're not gonna. But hold up, real quick. You're not gonna get a 35-plus-year-old woman taking her to Starbucks and getting cheeks.
Yes, you
Are
will.
You crazy? But you might not want to get cheeks because she gives it to everybody. You might want to be careful with that red flag, because she's giving it not just to you but other people too. And I hope y'all
don't care about
on.
You know,
men don't care about getting STDs.
No, men don't care because there's what I'm saying is there's no intention for her. So we don't care about the body count. We trying to add to it.
You're whoremongers though. Like you are whore makers or whoremongers.
Yes.
And that is frowned upon in the Bible that y'all touts. You and John the Baptist touts so heavily.
What are you talking about? Are you talking about whoremongering? I'm saying yes.
And I said it's frowned upon.
Let me tell you something. You don't know shit about the Bible, so relax.
I do.
Mike Brown with the $5 super chat. That's true. Generationally, we are declining nationally and in other countries. Most people don't want kids like that.
Say that G word again here. What word is that? What's the third word? Say it again.
It's not generationally.
Okay, you were stuttering earlier. I just want to make sure you can say it the right way.
Your daddy. So, yeah, no, you're right. We whole makers, whoremongers, but that's the game we playing. Now, that was me just replying to what Dana had said.
To the people in the comments, I like the older men now. We're not all. We don't want younger men either. So please don't misunderstand that. We as slightly older women kind of want somebody around our age or a little older, kind of sugar daddy vibes and stuff like that. So we're not necessarily looking at the younger ones either. Just so you know.
Yeah, that's fair. Omega Green with the $5 super chat. Since older women hold no competitive advantage over younger women, why should they be taken seriously for anything long term? Damn,
we shouldn't.
We shouldn't, and we don't worry about y'all either.
You're a clown.
You're right.
You're not even in our category, in our realm of thinking. So shut up.
Next.
Hey, but you know what? I do want to, because there's a couple dope super chats, and I was reading them kind of quickly. I don't like to do that. That's what other channels do. I like to see if we can sit on. Oh my pause. I like to see if we can assess some of them. So traditional men don't value what modern women value in relationships. I tend to think that's true. Omega Green said none of you on the panel respect 50-50 men. I think that's also true. Isha, Dana, Sis for goddamn sure. Ro, Tay, Big Lex, Big Lex. I think Love wouldn't mind it because she wanted a big piece of chicken. And Nay, we already know that you don't run shit in your house. So go ahead.
I'm my soft girl era.
Wait, I missed it. What'd you say about me just now?
You missed it, nigga. You looking right at me. Yo, I'm just so sick of this nigga, man. I'm so
Damn, what do you say?
But I think most of us that you name, we didn't grow up in a 50-50 household. So how can we expect somebody to come in and no, that's not what I was told.
Yeah, so Omega Green said he's right then. That's what he said. And y'all been trying to come at Omega Green. He been asking good questions.
No, I support that. I don't support that last.
That last one was real,
yeah,
real trash. That was, that was trash. The other one, 50-50, you're right.
This one was trash, but no, I don't respect 50-50. I don't want no parts of that. I don't want to be equal.
And then,
I want to live soft. I want to live soft.
He said date older women for what? Can she produce kids?
Yes.
Now here's the thing about that though. Mike Brown brought up this point. That's true. Generationally, we are declining nationally, and in other countries, most people don't want kids like that. So if that's true, then does what Reese said matter that much?
I don't know that that's true. Who doesn't?
Okay.
I don't know that that's true at all. Because people aren't having kids at the same rate that they were before doesn't necessarily mean that they don't want them.
Want kids, yeah. Because then wouldn't that be like we had a lot of kids before? Now
Right.
it's just one or two type shit.
Well,
Or
what you
six.
talking
The
about?
economy?
Like China, where
Huh?
they don't.
Do you see
have
the
room?
economy? Those kids are expensive.
Say again?
Do you see the economy? Kids are
Oh.
expensive.
Yeah, what is it like 250 per kid? 250,000, something like that. How you say this? Griot? Griot Academy, $10 super chat. Thank you, bro. Our person.
Them.
I don't know. It might be
They.
I think it's a dude. Thank you, bro. Men do not care generally about money when it comes to the matters of the heart. Yeah, that's true. And you see men doing that dumb shit. Like when they get divorced, she can have it all. She can have everything. Like once we get swooned, they can just give up their whole life and have to build it over. And these niggas be 50 years old. They only got 10 years left. Like, that make no sense.
You done killed them off early. Him, damn, 60?
60? What, 70? I don't know.
73 is the average lifespan for a man.
Yeah, that's all I am 69, 70. Yeah, so I think Griot's right on this. What you guys think about this?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Generally speaking.
Damn. Now, so guys, let me ask y'all a question. So you are willing to be taught by your husband, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
As long as he's willing to receive.
That point was missed so many times over and over.
Really was.
I said it like
Wow. Look at the decorum. Jesus Christ. Is everybody just gonna go? I mean, I'm trying to get y'all married. Y'all fucking it up.
The Dusties in the comments that's been dragging us, but what?
Hey, don't worry about the I told your ass stay out the comments.
I'm not in the comments. I'm talking about when I do the replays, them Dusties in them comments and in the super chats. I be seeing what the Dusties.
All right, look, come on. They were just inquiring about you yesterday. They gonna tell me never mind.
No, they weren't.
Right.
No, they weren't.
So, and what was I saying? What did I say? Oh, so now if you teach somebody something like a skill, or do you have to coach them on said skill? Is that okay?
Yes.
Because you have to reinforce.
Yeah.
You have to reinforce with everybody. Some people are quick learners.
I know, but you have to reinforce, right? So, for instance,
there's some training going on.
Yeah, there's some training. I mean, I got kids who can tackle well, but we still practice tackling for sure, right? Because you want to perfect it. How many hours does it take to become a professional? 1,000? How many for an expert? 10,000? So you got to do things repetitively. Go ahead, Nate. Sorry.
I said it's dependent on the person. You don't know like who.
What are you talking about now?
Quick.
What are you
it's
not
dependent
answering
on
me?
the person. You don't know. You're gonna say 1,000.
Okay, it's too late. It's too late for me to hear a non-answer.
That's your statistic because it doesn't matter. Somebody may be 100.
We can be taught. We can
agree. Wouldn't we agree that coaching can be right and wrong? What the fuck?
Yeah, you can have a bad coach.
Thought you muted me. My bad.
Nah, you next though. Go in the back. Go ahead.
You made me forget what I'm moving stuff around. You moving boxes and stuff. That was too much.
Yeah, right.
And then they just found out in the chat me and Sis was related. Fuck me, man.
Y'all look alike.
Y'all look alike.
Y'all like twins.
Chris created with the $5 super chat. 50 and I date 28 to 40 only. No advantage of dating older women. What's up, Big Lex? 35 is geriatric pregnancy. Stop the cap.
Go get your man, Lex.
It is.
I don't make the age bracket, unfortunately.
Just because it's geriatric doesn't mean it's not viable or that you cannot produce kids. It just means that you're at a higher risk. That's it.
Yeah. No, but that's not it though, East. That's a lot.
But we're not moving the age though. And that's what I think he's accusing us of. Like, we're not saying that because women are having kids older, that it's not a geriatric pregnancy. It's still geriatric, but just more women are doing it. More women are having more geriatric pregnancies now. That's
you know what I get worried about though when I see Black women making this argument. We know how well the hospitals treat you guys though.
Not well.
I know. And that's my point. Like, so we understand it's already high risk, and we know you guys get treated pretty poorly based on the statistics. So I'm just like, it doesn't so I get it, right? But for you guys, it's probably even more high risk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's not by choice. Those of us who want to have children, I definitely would have preferred to have children in my 20s than, in my later 30s, assuming it happens at all.
And I just recently went to my OB, and she's like, 40 is not old.
She lied.
I mean, I'm just saying that we've come so far.
But
happening more and more often.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, that's fair, Ish. But again, with the statistics for how you guys are treated is just like in an anecdotal experience. So my wife had twins back to back, right? So you already high risk, right? You haven't got a chance to fully contract or whatever the case is. And then they were big as hell, right? Which makes it more difficult. Right. And then my son was breached, right? But they still tried to deliver them vaginally, right? To say that you did it. So a breached kid, feet first with twins. Like, because if you say you did that, you're like one in a, how many doctors get to do that? But you don't try that on a person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they don't give a fuck. So your high risk ain't the same as somebody else high risk is my point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So, damn, man, that's interesting, man. Like, share. Oh shit, let me say this first. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. It helps the channel the most. Man, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all did a hell of a job. Yeah, Mr. Britt, real shit, man. Test dummies, man. And I don't like to play on, Black people might play on Tuskegee stuff like that, they expect, but real is real, real shit. Damn. I don't really like Jerry Springer, but I do like one of his constructs. Big Lex. Final thought.
Date older women.
Word.
The youngins don't want you.
Word. Miss Nay.
Older women are popping. Don't sleep on older women. There are some benefits to us. If you didn't catch tonight, watch the replay. You're going to find out why older women are popping.
Word. Love.
I'll just echo Nay's sentiments. Older women are popping. We know how to cook. We know how to ride it. and some of us do have good knees. And we're very I'm sorry, I was reading super chat. Can I going to read this? Johnny Baptist $2 super chat. High risk, age, weight, health. But back to my final thought. We popping. Our sex drive is high. We know what we want sexually. We don't have the inhibitions the younger women have. It's fun. It's fun over here.
Ro?
Compatibility and chemistry. Age is just a number.
Amen.
Word. Tay?
I believe there's somebody out there for everybody. And, as long as we keep taking care of ourselves, both older and younger women, the right man will find you. So keep your heart open.
Word. Sis?
Let's see. I don't have good knees, but I got all the snacks. I got a 10-year-old, so a boy. So I gotta get all the good snacks. That's just that. Older women, don't put us on the clearance rack, as somebody said in the chat. We are not that. We come with a lot. Experience, a little bit of wisdom, some seasoning, we're still good. We're still good to date, still good to marry.
Amen.
Word. Dana?
Shout out to No Cupcake Zone podcast with $1.99 super chat. Older women is the clearance rack, only one season. Fuck out of here. Anyway, women of all ages, whether they're younger or older, are free thinkers. We're capable of making decisions. We're capable of applying discernment for ourselves, and we don't have to rely on the tutelage or the coaching of anybody, because we're free thinkers. But along those lines, that doesn't mean that we are incapable of learning, of adapting, of receiving, of being submissive to the right man.
Amen, Dana.
Word. Ish?
Only simps and betas believe that they need to coach and teach a woman. A woman with wisdom knows that she knows how to be led.
Amen. Ish?
Amen.
Okay, some powerful stuff. So simp and a beta teach their women. So he don't let her lead. He tells her what to do, but he's a simp and a beta. Okay. I'm telling you, man. Shit like the Twilight Zone in this motherfucker. All right. I forgot my final thought. But no, I think proximity kind of determines a lot. I don't know if there's a destined person per se, but I think that, if you're around the right place at the right people at the right time, you might be able to find something that's for you for sure. I think that age is a factor. It's real. And I think it's something we need to consider. And so I think that we have to roll back some of our expectations. We have to be willing to compromise. We have to be able to listen, to learn and understand. All right. Your opinion is your opinion, but it's not always valid. It's not always warranted. It's not always needed. And I think we got to kind of know, because I think that's the key about smart, strong women like the women we have on this panel, is your opinion has been valid and you've been able to push it and be successful. But then you meet a man of the ilk that you want, and now it doesn't coincide. So then what? Who concedes? I guarantee if you concede some of those opinions, the ones that really matter, you won't have to. But easier said than done. I'm glad I don't got to do it. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And we out.